About ready to roll. Let's see, got all the shares out there. Meaning sharing of the live. I think we're ready to rock. Yeah, I think we're ready. All right. Let's see, make sure we'll be out here. Close that out. Get this situated, and we'll rock. So yeah, it is. Make sure I got this live. Okay, yeah, we got it right. All right. Shout out to the family, Peace, Power, and Profit. Sunday afternoon, looking to have this what they call powwow session, right? School jamboree conversation, in and out scenario, pretty much, not necessarily stoked in a whole lot of over verbose conversation concerning what we already know to be true on the market gossip, that is, in terms of Elon Musk selling some of those shares potentially, right? Potentially, you got to say that, right? Allegedly, right? Because it's not written in stone quite yet. Yeah, there is a Twitter poll, but there is no SEC filing, right? When we get the SEC filing, we know it's definitely game on. So we're going to discuss that a little bit. A lot of it is already kind of up in the air too, because there's some messaging out there that came out in the past that, Elon was already considering selling some of his shares around Q4 2021. So this is for those people who were patient and say, okay, well, let me dig through this a little bit. Let me figure out what's going on. And they was able to find it, right? Literally. And, the press was all over it too. So they found that, sound bite or a piece of press where Elon was discussing selling some of his shares. And of course, that'll be the excuse for why he's doing it the way he's doing it. Now, of course, he took it to Twitter and made it a public proxy. All right. So if you guys are familiar with public proxies and what those are, meaning a proxy period, of course, when you have shareholder meetings and you vote on certain things, board members, addendums and agendas and things like that, that stuff is being controlled and held through the proxy, right? So this time, he chose to do a little different, right? He took it to the public, right? Again, old school style, right? Medieval style, right? No, we're gonna take it to trial, all right, through the court of public appeal. All right, since we got the World Hunger, director and many other people who are on the backs of the billionaires to sell, well, basically for not paying their fair share of taxes. Elon was like, okay, well, here's the deal. I don't take a salary. I don't get paid for what I do. I just, direct and govern my company. So whatever, right? The money he's spending on his life basically comes from money he already had, in his life, endeavors, at the point where Tesla became the company that it is. He's just, okay, well, I'm trying to build out, this dream, so to speak, right? Build out this dream, right? And so he haven't been taking a salary, right? So yeah, the only way he pretty much gets to be able to get taxed if he sells some of his stock. So that's the whole conversation around somewhat the backstory of it a little bit. Just bring a little context to it. Some of you guys already know this. There's no need for me to kind of go back and forth, but I like to act as if no one, everyone maybe not have been in a position to know this or not. So that's why we kind of reiterate it, we discuss it, and we bring it back, bring it back around, so to speak, right? All right, so let me lower the tunes in the background a little bit. We got that old Sunday vibe going. All right, we'll leave that kind of in the background playing a little bit there. But no, so that's the conversation, right? That's what's going on today. So turn of events, right? We discussed it a little bit yesterday while we was doing our infrastructure conversation, and then today I was like, well, such as being it's such mainstream news today, what better opportunity than get after it, right? Put our little stamp on it, right? Because we do share in the value of it as shareholders, right? Of course, I'm a Tesla shareholder like many of you all are. So yeah, of course, I'm like anybody else. I want to know what's going on. I want to see what's going on. And you making these kind of public declarations like this out here, putting all our business out there, essentially, Elon, right? Well, yeah, I need to kind of speak on that, right? Because literally, everybody that follows Elon Musk is not necessarily a shareholder of Tesla, the company, right? They may like him for SpaceX. They may like him for Boring Company, his tequila business, right? The potential restaurant business, the solar panel side of this house, right? For many reasons, they may like him for whatever value. All right. For me, definitely it's for the value that, he is the type of aggressive CEO that, sees, growth through his executive orders that he's making as a CEO, but the technology and the engineering that they're putting out is somewhat leaps and bounds ahead of a lot of his competition. So I see that as that's a win situation for my money, right? But that's just my opinion, right? Or as Cat Williams would say, that's where I get my hair done at. Shout out to to those people who find value in in proper research. So shout out to everybody tuning in a little bit. Again, I know it's football Sunday. Everybody locked and loaded in front of the the television, right? The television, watching some sports football that might be doctored up by the referees as it is. I'm throwing salt on the NFL. So hate, right? Dave Chappelle style. Hate. Right. Yeah. Well, not just me, of course. I don't watch it, but I ain't got nothing against somebody that does. But right, on the big and better things, right? In my opinion, that's just for me. Right. I had my cup, filled with that long time ago. But anyway, so yeah, so that's what's going on this Sunday. Again, I hope everybody's having a great day. Then I do hope you are enjoying yourself if you are watching the games, enjoying your family, whatever you may be doing to relax before you kind of get back into the rat race come Monday, right? Work day, Monday, slave day, whatever you want to call it. For us, it's fun day, it's Christmas day, it's get paid day, or maybe lose a little bit day. It doesn't matter for us. We all excited for just the opportunity, right? Entrepreneurs, go getters, those who are in the investment world know exactly what I'm talking about. It's an energy like none other, right? It is so, mesmerizing in an aspect of, you get so excited for the fact that, okay, yeah, today could be a day that I can get me a bag. Right? I can make me $1,000 or 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 200, $1, 50 cents. I don't care. If it's more than what you made or had before you woke up that day, and you utilize the markets to get it, then that's a win for me in my book, right? So you are a winner, right? So shout out to you all. Again, all you entrepreneurs, you go-getters, you aliens out there, right? Who look at the markets for baseless, no ceiling, right? No ceiling opportunities here, right? So again, you guys rock. So again, as you can see, on the screen, of course, that's the thumbnail for the day, right? We like to try to have a little fun with the thumbnails too, where we can. But that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with. Elon then popped up in the party, standing by the corner near the door, right? Everybody else jicking and doing all the kind of new dances that's out there, right? They wide open, they all excited. Elon coming up like, yeah, we see you in the corner, Elon, but we gonna party because we know you the man, right? But they only know in the back of Elon Musk's mind, he think about selling some stock. He think about offloading some of them yams, right? And no one is being able to catch that, quote unquote. Right. So yeah. So while they're partying and living it up because the stock is at $1,200, Elon is planning to somewhat throw a little ice on that party. Right. So shout out to Elon. Right. Shout out to Elon. Shout out to everybody coming through in the building. We have Oba Chris in the house. Oba Brandon in the building popped through as well. Oba David Jones in the building. Right. Anybody else that may be listening? Again, I already know a lot of people locked in front of their TVs or eating Sunday dinners, if that's a thing in a lot of ways, and they're out there enjoying themselves right before they have to go back to the again to the trough, right? Right, to the trough. All right, shout out. All right, Sister Sharon in the building. Peace, power, and profit to you as well, Ilba. Happy to have her in the house. Waiting for her to get her YouTube channel popping because she puts out awesome content as well. Right, so love to see the sisters come through because they're always welcome here. They definitely hold it down, right, and knowledge and wisdom and just again, nothing like having great energy around you anyway. So shout out to her. Shout out to our sister Queen CB in the building today. She's in the house. Shout out to her. Right, good to see her in the house. It's been a little minute. She's probably been out there conquering the world. So happy to have her here. Definitely wish you guys a great Sunday. Hope everything's well in your, in your queendoms, right? That's what it's, like when the sisters, right, come through, right? They holding it down. All right. So shout out to you all. So again, jumping right into it again, like I said, not going to be on long as we like to always come on to say, but that's the topic, right? We're dealing with a stock, that is obviously extended. We understand the rules of engagement, right? So we're going to jump right into it. So let me share the screen here and we'll get right after it here. So if you guys don't mind, delete a little tunes bumping in the background a little bit on low. Right. Matter of fact, let me reduce the sound just a little bit. Right. A little elevated music, a little elevated music, right? Never hurt nobody, never hurt nobody. All right. So again, shout out to everybody, right? Peace, power, and profit, right? All right. Make sure we get some of these screen shares up here so let everybody know the family in the house. Sister Sharon in the building, right? Again, Sister Queen B in the building, CB that is, Queen CB in the building. Shout out to her as well. Happy to have everybody coming through, right? Again, on this Sunday, if you do have time. So let's get into it. So just looking at the reality of things, right? Again, Tesla stock, right? Let's jump over there, go to the chart. We pulled it up yesterday, of course. We was talking about the infrastructure bill, right? And then this, comes out. Okay, this is somewhat, well, that's the wrong share. I'm sharing the YouTube, right? Hold up. Big swole up. You supposed to be sharing that of the. There we go. All right. Where are we at? Where are we? Hold on. Where's my little thing? I know I haven't closed it. Or did I? All right, let me go over here. Sorry about that. 2 seconds here, family. All right, there we go. Yeah. So this is the daily chart of Tesla, right? So again, so from investors out there, for those who are new to this and who's learning, who's been watching us and trailing us and think, okay, let's see what these guys talking about, right? With all this investment stuff, right? They seem to be definitely passionate about it, if nothing else. And so, of course, we want to make sure we keep people in the main frame of understanding the rules of engagement, exactly what we see in a way that we can make it applicable to them, right? Dumbing things down, right? Make it make sense. Of course, none of this stuff is over our head when we look at line charts and bar graphs. We did that stuff in school, right? It's not hard to see when you look at a scenario where something is had a starting point much lower and now it's much higher. Then chances are that there's something going on there of linear growth, right? Linear performance, if nothing else, if you just say that word, right? Some performance going on there that seems to be tracking to the upside, and Tesla has been nothing short of that or shy of that, right? As long as I've been in it myself personally, of course, going back, years, of course, I remember Tesla was at, hundreds plus $200 a share before the split, of course. And, the idea that what it was going to bring to the future was just pretty much all but adamant and inevitable to that reality. And the stock now is just broke out, right? Is now benefiting off said growth. I mean, look at how I pull the chart down. You see what's going on here. Higher and higher and higher. And you're sitting up here at $1,200 a share in its present value. Right. Of course, outside the linear regression band, if it had the Bollinger Bands up there, of course, it'd be topping out, but probably at about top of the Bollinger Bands, whatever. The stock is extended. Granted, the RSI was at 93, now somewhere around 85 on the daily chart. That is too. Squeeze momentum is at peak squeeze value, so to speak. Not that it can't go higher, or not that it can't go higher. You know how this stuff works, right? Markets can remain irrational longer than you can remain solvent. Meaning, if your pockets ain't deep enough, then you will go under if you're trying to contrarian trade it. If you're trying to go against the flow, then you can get wiped out essentially, right? So Tesla is one of those stocks that has a history of doing that, blowing up people's accounts who try to go against it. Even the millionaires and the billionaires who come after Tesla, right? They get hit hard, right? Trying to contrarian trade against it. Of course, one of the famed ones out there is Michael Burry, right? We know him as Cassandra affectionately on Twitter, right? Michael Burry was pretty much the archetype person who spoke candidly about the 2007, 2008, 2009, the bubble, right? The housing bubble. He was that guy, right? That contrarian traded all that bad paper that was coming through those mortgages and made billions, right? Dr. Michael Burry, right? He actually is a solid mind that's out there in the world. So beyond that, he just can't get Tesla's number. He can't get Elon's number, right? Elon got a following like none other. He got some serious cult followers, right? So the stock is again extended. So yeah, bad timing, good timing, who knows? Planned timing, possibly, because again, from an investor standpoint, like we talked about yesterday, when we look at the chart, of course, you see what's going on here, even with this little candle right there, that guy right here, right? We know what that is, right? When we look at it, we see it. Let me blow the screen up here, right? When you look at that, you see that, exactly what it is, right? We talked about it yesterday. That is clearly an evening star. Evening stars denote bearish reversals, right? A reversal at some level, right? Even if you just look at it from a basic standpoint, so okay, that's a doji. But at this level of just how the stock is just kind of parabolic, straight up, almost linear dang there, and it sits up there in inside of a gap, and it just kind of had that moment where it didn't break out a closed green, then that was your kind of case to say, okay, yeah, we extended here a little bit, right? We may get a little reversal here, right? So going into the next day, the follow through of that sentiment seemed to be but bear fruit. It didn't necessarily at least close green, which would have kind of kept the bullet sentiment even to that, or even with the evening star pattern here. But you got another one, right? So you got some shooting stars, not evening stars, two evening stars, right? Crazy as it is. And the stock is sitting there, still above a tiny little gap around about 12.14, right? It closed at 12.22. And yeah, we can easily come back and inside this linear regression band here, right? At some value where the stock is just sitting up here, just again, it's super extended. Again, just over the past, I don't know what, 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, it's just been banging, right? Tesla has been banging, has been waiting for this breakout. I've been watching too, because I've been waiting for the breakout too, like everybody else. Of course, I love the stock. I'm in the stock. I got long terms in it. So of course I want to see the stock run higher. So we were stuck in this little $700 range, for a good little minute, right? 600 to 700. We finally got above that. You see that I had the little line here, the breakout above this little, trend value here above the 20-day moving average, where we kind of established some good support, in an inclination perspective, where the stock was climbing, and then we just made our move, right? We made our move. Right after that, lights out. Right, it's easy to, easily we ran up around, but 500 points, $500 to be exact, per share. $500 per share, right? All that happened in a matter of what, I don't know, what, maybe 14, 16 days, 17 days, something like that. Crazy returns, right? Crazy returns, as one would say, right? So who wouldn't like that, right? So therein lies why you got a lot of people who are upset today, right? When I say upset, because this was something in their mind that was just out of left field. Why would Elon do such a thing? Why would he hurt his shareholders like this? But again, this is the part where we say you have to be responsible for your own what, your own decisions, right? That's they say, never invest more than you have willing to lose, right? And also learn how to hedge, opportunity in the same breath, right? Because that also could be problematic if you get too overzealous and too, careless. That can be a problem, right? And the whole name of the game is to make money, right? Have fun, make money, right? So essentially, a lot of people who were in, let's say $600-700, whatever they knew. Of course, I've been in around the two, high 2 3s, low 3s, basically. Yeah, this is good. I mean, yeah, it's okay. Let the stock pull back. Let it, let a healthy correction have its way, right? Because who don't want to buy the stock at a cheaper price? If you still like the growth story of Tesla, I'm not complaining about the stock becoming cheaper, right? Even when it makes such a massive run, like this $500 that literally happened in what, 2 weeks, somewhere around there. I'm not going to complain about that. Why would I? Right? But people who got in just recently, yeah, of course they hurting. Meaning in their mind, psychological, we don't know what the stock going to do. We do not know what the stock is going to do. Now, technically and fundamentally, off such a press release or a moment like this, or this debacle or spectacle that Elon has pulled, in the past, when he had done stuff like this, the stock did pull back. It took a beating the next day. And if history serves us right, tomorrow, yeah, I expect the stock to pull back. I expect it to pull back, clearly. And then there's signs of that already starting to happen. There's signs of that already starting to happen right now, right? And I'm definitely going to, make make that publicly known, right? And then, we can get into the minutia, right? Is it going to really plummet the stock? What's going on, family blue cousin? See you in the building, right? So he can crash the market if he sell at once. Hey, that's a lot of money. Again, we know about the notional value of how much that's worth. Falls 10% of its holding. That's around about $25 billion. Right. Well, we say institutions and people who day trade Tesla alone equate that, brother. That ain't really nothing, but it's a psychological thing where people who got stock, just bought the stock recently, who may be in at higher prices, they may have stop losses very tight because they know they're buying the top. Well, that could trigger what? More selling. See how that works? So it's not so much the fact that the notion of value alone maybe doesn't equate to that of the daily intraday trading volume. It's the idea that once it starts, it can become like they call it tripwire. It can just clip everybody else on the way down and cause the stock to move fast. And at that point, algos have a code they live by. A certain starts being again to kind of pull back a certain level, they'll try to buy it. At some point when they can't flip it, they'll turn to a sell mode, right? Then they'll start selling off shares of Tesla too. And that can exacerbate the downside move, right? That's how markets work, right? I don't make the rule, we just live by them, right? Right. So that's very important, right? That's very important that we understand that and realize that that's how markets work, right? It's the name of the game, right? So that's why we have to be conscious of that. We have to be careful and concise in our decision making, because again, we don't want to move on emotion, which most investors do today. So a lot of investors out there that definitely get caught up in the cult following stocks, and they forget that this is about seeking alpha, right? Being able to procure profit, right? To increase that of your value. But also understand that when you do have moments like this too, that don't necessarily mean it's the end of the world. You don't just panic sell and sell everything, right? Why would you do that? right? If the growth story is still intact, you stay, you stay invested, right? Simple as that, right? You just realize that now is a good time for you to get a chance to maybe dollar cost average in. You get a little cheaper, right? So if we was to do a poll, right? And matter of fact, let me put one of those up. I should have did that earlier, right? Let's do a little quick poll. How much do you think the stock will would put out there sell off Monday, right? And or I should say, do you think the stock will sell out? Right? And then we'll do a third choice that says, it doesn't matter. Because I know there's gonna be some out there like, look, man, look, it don't really matter, man. It's the stock, man. It's the stock, right? We'll post that on up there just in case. We'll do a little poll, right? A little polling too. But that's the reality, guys. That's the reality. And yeah, we're gonna get into that, brother Dave. You see it, you already on it, bro. Right? Is it? Yep, we got the SEC filing, and we have the press release that came out with the news companies already verified that. Actually, I have some of it down in my description box. I think I have it down there too, or did I not put that part down there? Let's see. I don't have. Yeah, I did. I put some of it, but not the actual, value. But his brother just basically sold, I think, 15% of his holding in Tesla. So it's around about $110 million. So down there, I have a little excerpt of it with his other current and former Tesla board members, including Robin Danone, Kimball Musk, which is Elon Musk's brother, Kimball, right? Ira Efren Prius, right? These names, I tell you, right? Antonio Garcia have also sold hundreds of millions of dollars worth of Tesla stock since October 28th. That was just yesterday, literally. All that has happened, they've sold hundreds of millions of dollars worth since October 28th. Of course, the stock is rallying, right? You sell into strength, right? That's what we're trained to do. We sell into strength, not when the stock is plummeting, we sell into strength. See how that works? So, yeah, they're taking some profit because the stock just ran $500 in literally 2 weeks. Who wouldn't want to benefit from that? Imagine you're a shareholder that owns, hundreds of thousands of shares of Tesla. Your stock price, you already in base at dirt cheap price, right? These guys were in at maybe, $30 a share, something crazy, them like that, $100 a share. Some less, some in at par value, meaning, at the price where, the stock went publicly allocated shares for, private holders only and all that. They got them at dirt par value, right at the door, basically. And the stock is up, alone in the past 12 days, $500 per share, $500 per share. Yeah, it's okay to ring the register. I know shareholders always want to demonize people when they sell, but look, I have no doubt in my mind these people still are all in on the vision of Tesla, or maybe not, who knows, but for the most part, they probably are. But yeah, they're going to pay themselves too. And so, yeah, people who buy in at the top, they always got to feel the drop. We get it. That's the name of musical chairs. You realize the value that you have to be conscious in making sure what's, or where are the great places to buy, right? Where are the great areas to buy, right? And that's a part of this, right? That's clearly a part of this, right? And so we get used to it. We realize that, the extent of that, and we stay invested when necessary, because this is a dip by opportunity waiting to happen. Clearly, it's a dip by an opportunity waiting to happen, right? All right. So yeah, we're not going to be running away from the ideal of, normalcy of market. This is normal. Now, the way that he did it may not be normal, but it's Elon, right? People are like, well, yeah, that still don't mean that he need to be more fiduciary responsible to his shareholders, right? And then, does this also ring a flag to the SEC? Yeah, it's questionable, right? Because look how many people who follow him. Then the evidence of power that he controls, as far as markets, being the richest man on the planet. Of course, a lot of his headline, coverage definitely does weigh on, everything that he's attached to, including his company and his stock. So yeah, that could be a form of, market manipulation to a degree, right? But again, that's what makes this stuff crazy too, because you still got to do your part of protecting your portfolios too, right? That's how this stuff works. And so we already got, like I said, we got some so some forehand knowledge on where the stock is at this point. Well, you're like, well, what do you mean, brother Africa? How's that possible? You know, the market don't open up to tomorrow. Well, there are different markets around the world, right? And there are different time spans around the world, correct? So that means there are certain, you know, aspects of this company still being publicly traded outside of our time frame, right? And one of them in particular is Germany. I think I shared that within some of the groups, that screenshot of what the German market looks like, right? It's being publicly traded on Lance and Schultz right now, right? One of the sites out there, forgive me that. So yeah, the stock is already out there revealing itself in terms of what it may do for all the American markets right now as we speak, right? I think on the Lance and Schultz site in Germany, it was down like 7%, about 7+%. So that's roughly around about $70 worth already over there, right? $70 already over there, right? So, you know, that's a part of this, right? That's a part of, again, that's the rules of engagement, right? What's going on over Snotball? What's going on over Sunny in the building, right? See the family coming through. Shout out to you gentlemen today, right? You overs in the building, right? You rulers, right? You entrepreneurs, you go-getters, right? Peace, power, and profit to you all. So yeah, it's obvious that, you know, yeah, the market's definitely going to you know, be a little bit, you know, sensitive to tomorrow. Now, this is all on the backdrop that the infrastructure bill just passed Friday, which we knew it was already kind of last minute, but y'all know Wall Street cheap, right? They're cheap. They some very cheap streetwalkers. Y'all know what I mean by that, right? No, no disrespect, but that's just the reality. Wall Street is definitely a cheap streetwalker. So anytime it has the ability to use an excuse to try to run higher, it will. So that was the whole case behind what? The infrastructure bill, right? We know that was old news, right? It was already priced in like a million times. They kept saying we're going to pass the bill and they never did. And the stock shot up, meaning SP 500 went up, the SPX went up, the market went up. So how many times they're going to keep kicking that can down the road, you know, crying wolf, right? But again, does Wall Street care? No, right? Any moment to pump is a good moment to pump, period. Right? As the saying goes, that's why you don't bet against American markets, right? Per Warren Buffett, all them, but he ain't buying it either. Why? Because Berkshire Hathaway just had the earnings this past Saturday, and what did they do? Right? They end up increasing around about 18%, but they still missed the mark on some of the numbers they had already pre-planned. So that says a lot about what Berkshire Hathaway is doing. They ain't really, you know, unloading the cannon and buying these stocks at these high prices. He's sitting on $149 billion in cash. Let that marinate. Berkshire Hathaway, the company, is sitting on $149 billion in cash, sitting on. So that means if they're sitting on it, that means they ain't buying the market. They ain't buying these darling stocks that everybody's so excited about. They're not buying them. They're not buying more than Apple. You know, he got a big holding in Apple. He's not buying more of some of those airlines. He's not buying nothing because he knows, like anybody else, as a seasoned investor, why would I want to put my money in at the top? So, like I said before, maybe 2 weeks ago, people who buy in the market right now basically just retail traders and algos and some lower level fund managers here and there. That's about it. What's going on over Rich B? Peace, power, and property. Brother Sunline in the house, right? Happy to have him in the door. The resident bounces at the door. What's going on, brother? Right, good to have you in the house today, brother Sunline as well. Brother Rich B coming through. Right? Shout out to the family, right? Shout out to the family. So that's the scenario here. That's the talking points, right? That we all have to be, again, we're all subjected to. Right now, one would say, okay, yeah, well, Warren Buffett, you know, he don't really decide the market in this day and time. Yeah, granted, he does have a lot of influence over it too, but a lot of his, in my opinion, a lot of his old school, you know, indicators or his values of research that he put forth to kind of really monitor the market. A lot of those things been screaming overbought, and he's like, "This is why I'm not buying." Right? We had exorbitant levels that we haven't seen since. What are you talking about? Going back in the mid 1900s and stuff like that, and he got those kind of readouts happening right now in the markets in terms of the level of euphoria, the froth that's in markets today is just unheard of, and all that is spurred by a lot of the Federal Reserve, what they're doing. Yet no one wants to really blame the feds. That's funny to me. Like, how these people know that's what's going on here, and they're not willing to want to call out, the true culprit, which is Jerome Powell and some of his federal governors who are sitting there backing it. We know what they was doing. Last year there was insider trading like crazy, and the SEC is church mouse quiet. The SEC is church mouse quiet, knowing these people are insider trading. But look, they want to go out the GameStop, they want to go out the AMC. Like seriously, right? It's just a straight sham at the highest level. People been know these people been dirt. They always will be dirt, and it's just a changing of the guard at some point where a lot of these old head, these boomers going to have to get out the way. That's not, there's no disrespect to the elder class, but again, for what it's worth, the quality of living in terms of it being even distributed in terms of the way that the opportunities, at least they are afforded to people. We still got to get rid of some of this old antiquated energy that still came off the back of, the pre-civil rights era, right? That's just the facts, right? That's just the facts. Whether you hate, like, love it, or indifferent to it, from my opinion, we need to reach a change of the guard. It's time out for the old so we can bring in some of this new energy, right? And we don't mean the bad crap, crazy, nutty ones now. That's not what I'm saying either, right? There has to be some context, some more, some values, some critical thinking in the mix of all this, right? Because a lot of this stuff has to get fixed. Because why? The debt transfer that they've transferred on to you guys is staggering. The debt transfer is staggering. We're sitting at $29 trillion in national debt. 29 trillion. At least 9 trillion of that came under the last 2 years. Let that marinate. How you have $9 trillion run onto the Fed's balance sheet in under 2 years? That typically doesn't happen in about 8 to 12 years of a certain, change as a president. All that. Well, we know COVID is responsible for some of it, but realistically, we know what's going on here. They've been given the rights of passage. Just let that money printer sing like none other. And they just print money. And I'm asking the very simple question: is it hitting y'all pockets too? If you're not in the markets, for all my mainstream people, is it hitting your pockets? Are you really feeling the surplus of all this money printing in your pockets? That's the question I have to you. If you can't account for it, then apparently, you being had, right? Because you're gonna be stuck with the bag, the bill, that is. So that's why we don't sit here and second guess the ideal of what, you can't beat them, join them, right? We like, okay, well, look, this is afforded to me just like it is to any other taxpayer. Yeah, I want to utilize the free markets, the equity markets, the global markets for that same value. Why? Because a lot of my bills and things that are attached to it also go into this, that perspective anyway. I'm just not really getting a good kickback from it, right? Besides working for it. No, who wants to just do that all the time? Like, seriously? Right. So that's why it has to be a change, right? Changing of the guard, change of understanding how this stuff works. And you have to realize, hey, it's time for me to start, searching for other ways to kind of move around to get to the bag. So yeah, so a lot of people again who are in Tesla, who've been in Tesla, they're not complaining. They're not wondering, okay, well, what went wrong and why is he selling it? This is just bad. No, it's not. No, it's not. Look at the chart, right? Look at the chart, right? Even a person who might not be familiar with what we're talking about in terms of technical analysis and learning, because we've been talking about it, they can look at this thing. This thing is, man, what just happened? This thing just went straight up, almost a straight line. And before they were just kind of going sideways, but now it just went straight up for a little moment. What's that all about, right? Yeah, that's what you call an extension. A serious extension there, right? And for those who definitely know what that means, like we always talk about with markets, the further you move away, right? The further you move away from a moving average, a notable moving average, especially this on the daily chart, right? Markets act, what moving averages act like what? Like magnets, right? The further you move away from that moving average, extend away from it, at some point it's going to try to pull you back down towards it. Why? Because on a trading scale perspective of a timeline, it needs to be moving in unison to that of that moving average. That's why it's there for a reason, right? Allocating time and money. And that's to say, okay, if people keep buying it at this level, it should be trading at least at this value. Even though that still may make it seem to be overbought or extended, but just trading the market in a perspective of responsible trading, it should be trading at least maximum at nutcase about $1,000 right now, 1,032. but it's sit up here at 1,200. Now that's still overextended. The 200 has it at $718 a share. Now, of course, I don't want Tesla to go to 718. Of course, I don't. But then again, I do. Why? Because if it does, I get to buy more cheaper. But guaranteed, this latest, stunt by Elon, that's gonna, put some, it's gonna put some opportunity on it to probably come down a little bit. And that's the 200 moving average down here. Look at that. That's all the way down to 718. Look how extended that is away from the 200-day moving average, as opposed to, in areas where you see it, here and up around these areas here, right? Kind of close to it, just, at a good range. Then it just broke out. So yeah, it's extended. Right? It's obvious, right? It's a baby. That's so you end up drawing a baby, right? The stock got pregnant, right? Who knew? The stock got pregnant. That's a little baby inside wrapped up inside a little baby blanket, right? And put some eyes on that baby, right? Right? The stock ended up growing a little baby, right? In that little time frame. So shout out to the stock being, getting pregnant and delivering baby. And now it's time, to go home to the hospital, from the hospital. All right. Put that up there for comedic relief a little bit there. Right. Have a little fun. All right. True story. Right. Stock definitely extended. So yeah. So let's move right on to it. So again, the topic of the day is within that, right? What's going on, family? Immortal Truth in the building, right? Our family, everything in the house as well. Right? Everything's monetizable in the building, right? All the family coming through, man. Peace, power, and profit to you all. Right? Peace, power, and profit to you all. All right. Shout out to the fan, right? That's coming through. Right. So that's Tesla stock. So let's jump right into it, right? Let's get to the nitty-gritty because we don't want to be on forever. All right. So concerning where Tesla price is trading right now, right? There is also a FTX Forex perspective of how it is traded in a futures market perspective. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but I'm gonna share that with you guys today. Right. This is the off the beaten path scenario, how you can follow some of these stocks, not all of them, but some, in terms of how they may or may not be trading, right? So let's jump right into the USD, right? The best of the TSLA USD, right? Which is a synopsis of futures trading in Forex side of the house for Tesla. That's an actual entity, right? It is an actual entity, right? So let's go right over here. So let's see what Tesla stock is looking like on that side since this news has came out, right? Since this news that came out about the whole poll and all this. So let's go see. Oh, lo and behold, right? Lo and behold, look at this drop, right? Look at this drop, right? On the Twitter poll, and this got worse and got worse. Came down and bottomed out around about 111, right? 111.90 to be exact. Right. And since then you had, like in the stock, when you have that such a level of egregious pullback, you have a little bounce inside there. So you bounce back like 30 points. But this is the live traded entity right now. This is the TSLA, slash USD on the FTX. Like, man, how you be finding this stuff, brother? After how you be finding this stuff? Man, y'all know how we roll over here, boy. We some detectives, right? We don't play the radio, right? We do not play the radio. We're gonna get after it. Right. So this is on the hourly. So, if you condense it down, let's say, let's go to the 5, right? It looks a little ugly on the 5. That's why I like the even bigger time frame. But you see, it's just kind of sparsely just moving about, right? It's sparsely moving about a little bit, right? And again, this is live in the aspect of, this asset on this future derivative. So if this is any indication of what Monday may look like, we just saw the ones for Germany, right? Because I sent that screenshot out to a lot of people, right? The stock was already down 7% in Germany. That's on the equity side, straight equity. So German markets already had Tesla down about 7+%, roughly around about $70 odd, $70, $80 a share. And they're obviously traded a little cheaper than ours on the American market. So they were sitting at about 1,000 plus, going into that news, and then it dropped down, into the 900s off that news, low 900s. And so here's the FTX side of that. That's also trading Tesla right now too. All right. So the markets are the markets are signaling here. Virtue signaling, whatever you want to call it. Markets are definitely signaling. Yeah, Monday is going to be a fun day for Anybody who had lotto put buys, yeah, they're going to be eating really well tomorrow. They're going to have steak and vegan steaks, and and they're going to have pop. They're going to look at candy and cakes, and potato chips, and ice cream party, old school style, like little kid. We're going to have a party today, right? Because yeah, it looks pretty much certain that we're going to get some pullback in Tesla stock. Now, again, we still have to wait to see if Elon's going to put out the SEC filing, because it's not official until he file it through the SEC that he's going to sell some stock. And we do know that he already had some stocks that he wanted to sell in Q4. So it just rolls right in tandem to that. And we do know that his brother, Kimball Musk, just sold $115 million worth of stock this past Friday. He just dumped, that was this Friday, it was Thursday or Friday, he just sold $115 million worth. And Kathy Wood's been selling along the way like crazy anyway. Right, but she's been selling a lot of us stuff prematurely, right? She didn't get a chance to really. I mean, she's still in the stocks. I can't say that she still got a lot of shares in the stock, but a lot of her initial sales that she was doing, she sold before earnings, right? A little bit afterward, when it just was still kind of sitting there sideways and just kind of playing around. But when it broke out up into like $500 plus move, she had pretty much sold a lot of her stocks that she wanted to sell in Tesla already, so she missed that extra $500 per share that she could have got. Let that marinate. Right, and this woman is a professional. She missed that move. She missed that $500 plus move in the Tesla because she was just selling a little too premature. Because she wanted to buy stocks like Robinhood. She was buying stuff like that. Couldn't make this stuff up. Coinbase. Oh, she left Tesla and ran to that. But again, look, I'm not here to judge her. Everybody do what they do based on what they do, right? Right. And she still got a bullish price tag on it. I get it, but yeah, she been selling, right? If we go to the ARC website, that's how we track that. That's the legitimate website to track her sales and buys. You can go up there, you can see how she was selling Tesla stock, obviously pre that, right? So no secret there, right? Right? No secret there. So just live by the sword, die by the sword. But she still got a lot of shares in it, but she could just sold at a lot higher price for her clients. A lot higher price for her clients, right? Just keeping it 100, right? Right? She could have sold a lot higher, right? I just got to keep saying that because, you've been selling. Somebody been selling, right? She been selling, right? And that's how she wrote, right? So right now, she has about 11%, and it's still Tesla Skin is still her biggest weighted holding inside of her ARC, K ETF, but it's been trimmed significantly. But again, at the point where she could have sold it at a lot higher, right? So yeah, you got to say to yourself, yeah, shots fired, at her for, jumping out there a little too premature to buy other stuff that ain't necessarily, worth that of what we consider to be in terms of, in my opinion, course, that of Tesla, right? But that ain't for me to decide. That's for her. In terms of that, being able to explain that to her, her clients, right? But again, whatever, right? People like, well, yeah, you just parts and straws. They still made a lot of money. Yeah, they did. In the distillery, of course they did. Right? Shout out to her. Right? But yeah, so that's just the extent of that. Again, you go to a website, ARK Invest, if you want to kind of watch that and see what's going on there, you'll see it for yourself. All right. So yeah, so let's jump over there to Twitter, right? Let's jump over there to his Twitter account. All right, let's go see what's going on over there on the Twitter side of things, right? Twitter, right? Twitter. They call it over there. All right, see what Elon is talking about. Well, not necessarily Elon, but everybody else, because it's, man, I was sitting there watching that thing throughout the night, and this morning I said, boy, these jokers over there crying. There's a lot of people that have been really overweight Tesla. They were buying calls, more calls, because it's been in this short squeeze through the option market. And a lot of those guys going to get what? Probably they'll toe up tomorrow. So they've just coming up with all kind of excuses. Why would you do that? Why? Everybody that wanted him to do it, been wanting him to do it, like, yeah, it was a good move, but still. So this is the official result, guys. There it is. That's the official result. No cut on that. You know, there's no cut on that. That is the official result, right? So, you know, as it stands, you know, that's the extent of the poll. And so, yeah, so Elon is sitting there like, you know, well, see, yeah, I guess I'm at the sale because, you know, he made it clear that how he sells it and the way he does it, that may be up for debate, but, you know, he made it very clear, say, I will abide by the results of this poll, whichever way it goes. That happened yesterday at 3 p.m. when he put that out there, right? And then people say, okay, you know, here we go. Of course, I voted yes just for this. You know, hey, why not? Right? Yeah, knock in some of them games, bro. Lock them in. Why not? Well, that's crazy, brother. African boy, that's gonna hurt the stock. Ain't you in the stock? Yeah, but yeah, I like a good discount too, right? I want to buy more because I know at some point Tesla could be worth maybe $3,000 worth of share, right? So, hey, can I get something a little bit cheaper, bruh? Bruh, right? That little sound effect, bruh. Can I get something a little cheaper? So let it come down, right? Let it come down. It was already extended. I mean, I'm look like everybody else. I'm a technician too. It's expensive. Let it come down. Right. So just kind of going through some of the comments here. You already see they wide open, bro. They wide open. Right. Let's blow it up a little bit there. Right. So you already see Elon stuff. So some of the famed YouTubers that follow, you know, Elon, people like Dave Lee, those guys, solving the money problem, those guys. Like, look here, bro. They sick right now. Now they still in the stock long term, but they just sitting, they were waiting for this move to happen, right? So they've been riding the wave for a long time. So it's like, oh, we're above 1,200. We easy when they go to 1,500 next. That's how they start planning once the start breaking out. Like, who doesn't think that way? Obviously, right? But this here kind of monkey wrench is all that. This is the monkey wrench that goes into the machine of Tesla, and it's just like, oh man, why would you do that, bro? Why would you do that? Look at Dave Lee, right? Y'all know I follow Dave Lee. Right, Dave Lee was like, hey, Elon, lots of sites out there that offer paid Twitter poll votes for cheap. Just Google by Twitter poll votes. This poll can be easily manipulated by those with strong financial incentives, right? So basically, their strong financial incentives would be that they don't want the stock to be up. So we definitely want to vote no because we want Tesla to sell, right? Excuse me, Elon to sell the stock, because if he does that, guess what happens to the stock? Of course, it comes down. And that's not good for people like Dave Lee to like, oh, bro, I got some option calls, though. I just bought option calls. I just bought new option calls. Them calls going to get grind to dust. Potentially, right? I still got to say potentially because it's not Monday yet. But as of now, yeah, looking like those calls going to be dust. Unless you got them extended out. In most cases, they got their calls extended out. But they don't want to take that L like that because that's a volatility shift. That's an IV crush. Essentially, off the drop alone could be a big IV crush, which hurts the performance of those options at this point. That's how the game works. That's essentially how the game works. Right. So it's crazy, guys. But hey, we live for this. Right. So everybody in there, like, you know, inside of his little thread, they over there like, bro, what? Hold on, let me click on it. Like, sorry. They're not happy. Right. He has something else planned. Maybe they're trying to figure out ways why would he even do this? Right. Why would he even do this? Right. So people over there going in and they got questions and whatever. Right. But I mean, like I said, all the talking heads out there, right? Even through my little one out there, I ain't got but a couple people hit it up with me. Right. But look at it. Y'all know that guy right there, definitely, right? Look at that. Everybody got something to say now, right? Because Elon commands that. Right. So you can see all the heads out there, the gurus and the furus, right? As people I like Sister Camille, they like to call that. You and over Chris, y'all be cutting up. Right? Even they start popping up on the feed all of a sudden. You know, they go the old TS right there popping up, you know, right? Sell 10% to pay some taxes, but more importantly, lock in some wealth and sell another 10% and donate it to charity, right? You sell 20% of your stock, basically, what he's saying, right? Help diffuse the bubble in Tesla. See that? Stock price will make it far healthier in the long run. Win, 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 win. Yeah, of course. Well, yeah. 20% right now would be what? Roughly around, back around what, $800, $900, somewhere around there. Give or take, right? So yeah, of course, yeah, he might be getting ready to short the stock, essentially, or not already short the stock. Duh, right? Because y'all know Timothy Sykes is well known for short selling stocks. right? Him and his little crew over there. Profit lead those guys. They known for shorting stocks. They love the short stocks, right? Tim Gertani, the Steve Ducks. Steve Ducks doing his own thing now, but the crew, the old school crew, right? Even Billy, if he out there, Wolves of Wall Street, yeah, of course, we would love to short it. We would love to short Tesla, right? So you see why he's all excited about the short, right? And lo and behold, look at this guy, right? Peter Schiff himself, right? Mr. Gold Bar, Mr. Gold Dust, right? Mr. Gold, right? And all the gold coming out of Africa, of course, but of course, it's it's Euro Pacific capital gold, whatever that's about. Yeah, that gold ain't coming out of the ground. Europe, that just just the fact. They coming out of the grounds of out of South America or Africa. Period. Right, but he definitely anti-markets, equity markets. That is, he all about the gold being real money, this, that, and the third. So of course, to him, this is weird because he's debated Elon back and forth a couple times on Twitter. They've had their little spats at each other, but in general, just Peter Schiff, this daily commentary on markets and Fed, Jerome Powell. Of course, a lot of this stuff is very informative. Right, he is old head in the game, but he has a very unique perspective. So what he's saying, from a diversification evaluation perspective, the sale amount makes a lot of sense, right? Makes sense. The fact that you'll have to pay taxes on the proceeds, however, is not a net benefit to society. Why? Because if you guys knew this, not Peter Schiff's dad actually went to prison for tax evasion, and he wrote a book concerning the pretty much the sham or the fraud of the tax system. His dad did. Again, very sought out book till to this day, to be exact. Truth be told, so definitely that's why he actually moved his family to Puerto Rico to get away from taxes. He had to pay no tax on his basically there's zero capital gain tax by living in Puerto Rico. So they're evading taxes just by moving to Puerto Rico. There's many other people like that y'all maybe don't even know about, that y'all do know. They got houses and homes in Puerto Rico to avoid the taxes in America. True story. So that's his okay. So again, the public would be better served by you wisely investing that money rather than government wasting it. Because if he gets taxed by the government, right, this whole kind of unrealized gain taxation that the Democrats are pushing, just kind of go after the billionaires, whether you hate, like, love it, indifferent to it. Of course, we're neutral, one way or the other. We have our opinions, but that's what's on the table. Then that money, the government gonna get at least let's say it's 25 billion, they're going to take at least 2/3 of that, right? They'll take at least 2/3 of that. So that'll leave him rough around about $69 billion after the tax. So that means he just gave the government, roughly 17, somewhere around there, $18 billion, $19 billion. The government. So of course he like, why would you give the government that kind of money? No, you could take that money and reinvest it somewhere else. Borrow against it at a lower tax rate. Go do something great with it. Don't give the government the money because they ain't gonna do them what, mess off with it like they always do. Which he right, right? He's right, right? Right. Look at it. Even look, you got representatives, right? Government officials chiming in on this. Like, this is off the chain. Like I said, this one here brought out all the talking heads. I'm gonna get to some more. Tesla got a critical, right? Got a critical early $465 million loan from the federal government, Peter. Right? See, now he's like, well, see, they got a loan from the government. So this guy's in favor of him selling because they can get that money back. 465 million, right? They feel like he and then some have made more money off that than necessary, that $465 million loan. Right? So this is going to be an ongoing topic and debate for the next 2-3 days, if not longer. Again, it's wide open at this point. All right, here we go again. Y'all know that name right there. Look at Michael Slayer, right? The infamous MicroStrategy CEO, right? One of the biggest, Bitcoin bulls out there, besides Novogratz and a few others. Michael Slayer in the flesh, right? There you go. You know what he's gonna be pushing? Of course, Bitcoin, right? If the goal is diversification, an alternate strategy to consider is converting the Tesla balance sheet to a Bitcoin standard. right? And purchasing 25 billion in Bitcoin. Of course, he would love $25 billion coming into Bitcoin, right? Of course, that may catapult it up then to 80,000, 90,000 to 100,000. If that was the case, because y'all know people follow Elon, or even on the crypto side, that'll be a crazy boost for Bitcoin. It'll definitely go up near that 100,000. I have no doubt if he was to do that. If he was to do that, Bitcoin would definitely be up near 100,000. Right? That would deliver diversification, inflation protection, and more upside for all investors in a tax-efficient manner. He bringing out all the heads on this one. Boy, everybody all ramped up about this conversation, right? And it's going to continue, right? It's going to continue, right? So look for that to be one of those scenarios where you just realize and say, well, hey, this can get a little out of hand, right? And it's going to continue to grow, right? So get excited for the value in that, right? Get excited for the value in that. So you might say that's why charity was mentioned. yeah. They're trying to, do their thing, right? They're trying to do their thing, right? Meaning they're trying to get their agendas definitely on the forefront of this, right? Right. So what will be the impact on stock price? Are we going to lose our stock's value? See, people like this here, right? Are we going to lose our stock values? Okay, the stock going to come down a little bit. So where did you buy at? Did you buy at the top? Because you might have the dollar cost average down. Right. Crazy, right? So Joel, right? Cantarsi, right? Now, this guy got a blue check on Twitter. So some of these people I said, you see him, right? Right. Of course, a lot of these people got Tesla stock. A lot of them got Tesla stock. Frank Holmes, right? A lot of these people got Tesla stock, right? The stock will fall and hurt many more investors. Then it will help the government tax unrealized gains, right? Got a point, right? Taxing unrealized gains could trigger stock market crash or stifle long-term equity investing. I doubt it, because Elon had done this before. The stock pulled back, people bought the dip, and the market was fine. Right? Success is penalized plus harm, which would change risk-taking and capital information. That's a lie, because these algos are relentless in buying the dip. And retail traders are going to follow the algos. I don't agree with that last part, right? These people are just heavily weighted in the market, and they're greedy, right? You need the market to kind of get back to some kind of form of reality, because it's not been moving, with reality over the past, literally over the past year. The market has not been trading on fundamentals. And these greedy buying people know it, but they don't care, right? So why would you vote yes on this? Shake my head. See, that's a part that got a lot of, yeah. Sorry about that, David Goldstein, whatever you name it. Yeah. Hope you ain't got no calls, bro. Right. So got Mr. Beast, right? The Twitter poll decides the fate of $20 billion plus of Tesla stock. True story. Yep. All right. Voted yes, despite knowing this will hurt me. Tesla is overextended. Sell high to pay your taxes. This is the best time to reduce debt, right? And money aside, you will be what? Your well-being is number one priority for most of us. You know how it go. So I mean, look, they go Pompliano, right? Even Pompliano, y'all know Pompliano from being all over he one of the other Bitcoin bulls, right? Got a little podcast that they do daily on YouTube, all day, every day. He be on there all day, every day too. The Bitcoin press, one video after the next, trying to keep up with the guy, Meet Kevin, I guess. So he all wide open about this. So if you sell 20 plus billion of stock, the government will be able to fund themselves for a few minutes with the taxpayer payment you'll make. Right? Facts. Right? They'll celebrate like you balanced the budget, though. Right? Yeah, good point. Right? They bad when it comes to that. Yeah. So again, it's Ross Gerber, right? Ross Gerber's a big talking head on CNBC. Y'all see him right there. He all on here too. What will you reinvest after? What will you reinvest the after tax capital? Right? You want to know where you want to put that money at, so I can follow it. Right? Ross Gerber is a character too. He out of California, boy. He definitely, that's his brand is Gerber Kawasaki, right? It's one of his funds that he runs. But he's definitely an interesting person. Right. So again, it's weird watching all this, and people all over Johnson say some of these guys. Yeah, it's a spectacle, right? It's a spectacle. As the old man, Tesla's 1% of my portfolio. Good luck. You do realize that there is a bunch of successful companies that you can split your money into and grow, right? I would never put all my money in one stock ever, right? You're going after the people that got all their money locked and loaded in Tesla, right? See, bro, like, no, not me, right? But that's the name of the game, guys. That's the name of the game. See, markets are definitely all over the place. Yeah. Take note, selling Bitcoin is not even on the table. Hold them, right? Because they know also with Elon selling some of his stock, that can inadvertently affect Bitcoin, Dogecoin, because he is a representative of those coins. Now, as of now, even though again it's not official, but the ideal of it, Bitcoin pulled back a little bit early yesterday. It gained some of that back, right? But it's superficial because that can easily spark, cutting the futures market open up tonight, because now you get their Bitcoin futures, they can start shorting Bitcoin because they feel like it'll be, in somewhat, in essence to that of what, Tesla stock. But as of now, Bitcoin up, Bitcoin bounced, about what, $1,400, right, over the past 24 or 12 plus hours, So yeah, we got a nice little, bump up on Bitcoin. We're sitting at 62,000 and this near 63,000 to be exact. But the markets ain't open yet, too, right? Because Bitcoin futures has a lot to say with where Bitcoin price is at as of now, going into 6 o'clock tonight. When the CBOE and all those branches are open up that trade those Bitcoin futures, then that may put some pressure on them. And so Elon Musk basically did a whole squid game. He did put a squid game on investors tonight, right? So there's some people out there that's gonna, man, this just some of this ain't all of, because this is just on that tweet alone. But even if you just put in a ticker symbol alone and just go to hashtag Twitter, right? What we call investment Twitter, right? And they've got Tesla puts and Tesla Monday. People already making it known what they feel like the stock gonna do, right? So these are some of the conversations already coming out. Well, let's go to the latest. Let's get right to it, right? So Twitter poll results show majority most selling, 10%. Yep. Phantom breaking in, yep. Whatever. So let's go straight to tip. So yeah, it's likely to dip on the news. Potential Elon Musk stock sell. Do you yourself favor a load up on what? Buy the dip, right? Yeah, buy the F dip, right? There are likely a lot of trap shorts after the monster move that will be thanking God for the opportunity to cover lower. But yeah, there's some truth to that too. But at the same breath, you might be a little patient on that buying dip too swiftly, too soon. Because again, we don't know the extent of whether or not, how he's going to sell it, if he's going to sell it, and then to the extent if he's going to sell it all at once, or piecemeal it out, whatever, because it could get ugly. If he sell all at once, then that's going to hurt the markets. I mean, it's going to put a pause on this little, fugazi rally that's been happening anyway in the SPX, SPY, QQQs, all that stuff going to get, a nice little, downside little, present for a moment. Right, a notable one that's needed too, to be exact, but markets will still try to find a way to make this bullish if they can, and they're gonna try. I guarantee. Market makers are thinking right now, how can they make this bit into a bullish stance, right? A bullish spin for the equity markets, meaning despite all that, because all they concerned about, well, yeah, this may hurt the Nasdaq side more than anything, right? QQQs, XLK, right? NDX, they will definitely get hit behind this because Tesla's definitely in that genre of tech stocks, right? So yeah, there's room around this, right? But we'll see. But that chart, I mean, looking at that chart, man, look at that. That thing got gaps all over. You got a gap down here near 925, 930. That's waiting to get filled. 910, somewhere around this waiting to get filled. Right? You got a gap around here, down here near, 1130 areas around there waiting to get filled. Right? So yeah, so it's going, man, this thing is buzzing all day, all night. People lighting it up, about what they think the stock gonna do, how it's gonna do this, and about puts and all this, and they they know it's about to get real in the field, right? It's about to get real in the field. So the dip buyers line it up, and the short sellers are definitely licking their chops right now, right? Somebody got FTX chart up too, right? Yep. So they already see this thing coming down. All right. So now that begs the question: are stocks like Neo, right, XP, right, Ford and Lucid, are they gonna, also follow suit, or are they gonna buck the trend and be the ones to go up because Tesla's coming down? Now that's an interesting question, right? So we got a lot to kind of digest within that perspective. So yeah, who knows, how it's gonna go, but it's about to get serious, right? It's about to get serious. Yep. So Elon, let me see, as of late, did he put out he haven't put out anything else besides that. So yeah, now he's going into silent mode. Elon on silent mode on jokers right now. Like, nah, I can't. Yeah. Because I know they're gonna come for me if I say something. So let me just be quiet. Right. They're over there. Like, let me just be quiet for the moment. Right. So that's just, as of now, that's the, that's what's going on. We'll see, the end results come tomorrow. Again, as of now, the stock is definitely, situated to come down, right? It's situated to come down, right? And that's just based on the FTX. As of now, we're sitting at that 1142 mark after pulling back from 1220 area. All right, so no secret there, no surprises. I'm pretty sure you guys have already experienced such scenarios like this before in terms of the conversation. So yeah, we'll be watching. We'll definitely be watching. Bitcoin still looks pretty solid here so far, but again, come 6 o'clock, about an hour from now, right? Literally about an hour from now, fireworks will definitely get the popping, right? It will get the popping, right? Bitcoin futures, everything in that perspective, it'll get the popping, right? So, if you do got option calls and Tesla going into this weekend, this Monday, my best to you, of course, and sincerity. And I hope things work out. Now, again, it's not written in stone that the stock just going to sell off either. But the odds are more in favor of it selling off than, it's just surprising everybody to shoot back up. Well, of course, a couple things will have to happen. Elon could easily put out a psych. He could put a psych out there, like psych. Well, if he did that, then that'll easily be a sensible moment in the SEC. Because they can say, well, literally in this moment, you just manipulated investors. Perspective. Now, they will say, well, the market it's not even open. So how would that be insider trading or manipulating the market? Well, they will say, okay, well, hey, I would say, this is messing with, a lot of my provisional, stock psychology that I'm going to implement into the market, right? Yeah, this is a form of, dividing, the market with, uncontrolled press releases that are just off the cuff, right? Like, no, that's market manipulation. Right now, he's been down this road before. Of course, it ain't nothing new. He's done these things plenty of times before, right? Definitely not nothing new there, right? And he's actually still under, in trouble with the SEC and the Department of Justice behind the whole 420 thing. So ain't that, again, people act like it was weird too, because y'all know this stuff. We talk about a lot. We've seen this stuff, but like, yeah, Elon is a defiant person when it comes to government. Make no mistake about it. I like his rebel energy. I like his rebel energy. Right? And he don't care about it, because guess what? He'll say, well, I pay that little fine. And what? Unless you're gonna do something crazy to me, like a Martha Stewart lock me up, right? Then yeah, come after me. But he's so important because he got the government right where he want them. He got them right where he want them. He single-handedly saved America's space program. Let that marinate for a moment. Elon Musk single-handedly saved America's space program. All your tax dollars that's been going to NASA has been going to just to die. When the last time NASA did something before Elon got serious about going up into space? Crickets. So yeah, he carries weight, and they know it. That's why they're like, okay, give him the curse, give him the curse. We got to put up with him being who he is, but he's doing so much in advance in our scenarios when it comes to innovative values, better quality of life, engineering things he's doing with his company and his space. See, he got him right where you want him. Right. So this is the craziness of this. This is the craziness of this stuff. Right. This is the craziness. Right. So, no secret here. Again, tomorrow is definitely going to be wide open. Right. Excuse me. It's going to be wide open. Right. I'm pretty sure I don't have to even go to the option flow chart to see what it looked like, going into Monday. I'm pretty sure that there's a plethora of call buys that may be, it may be 50-50 now, because the stock was already starting to show that it was getting ready to pull back a little bit in terms of the evening star. So yeah, just maybe, you may have an even, put the call ratio or somewhat near that extent where it's starting to show that Tesla was getting ready to kind of cool off a little bit, possibly. Right. So let's run over there and check it real quick. Right. Just on GP. Right. Just on GP. Let's go check that out real quick. Right. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all guys for patronizing, the channel today. I appreciate you all. Again, thank you for the likes, the shares, the subscribes. We appreciate every view here. You're valuable here. We appreciate you. Again, your family here. Come through anytime. Anytime you see us on, the red light is on, you're definitely welcome, basically. Right. So let's jump right over here to Tesla real quick. Let's go to the option flow chart here. Right. And let's see what the put call ratio looks like going into next week. Now, this is, let me see, it should already be on for next week. It's Sunday. So I think they already updated it. Let's see here. No, they have not. Okay. So let me update it real quick here. All right. So this is going into next week. Right. So as you can see right there, put the call ratio. See right there. So you got some puts came in intraday. Those people. But even a scenario like that, put the call ratio that type, we know that could easily flip to the call side, in terms of bullish traders, right? That's people who are trying to get ahead of the stock, maybe getting ready to pull back, because we did see evening star, period. And the stock is overbought on the RSI, overbought on the MACD, overbought on stock twist, squeeze momentum. Everything points that Tesla stock is overbought. But do you think bulls care? No. The stock can still jump up and run, $100. True story. RSI sitting at 85, it'll run it right back up to the 98, 99, 92, 97. Look, just like, man, okay, what's that? What's the RSI? So yeah, it looks like, people are preparing for the pullback. Obviously, the open interest and the intraday put volume that came in Friday, these are getting biased up with Friday in terms over here. These are things that were already building from, previously that happened from Thursday into Friday. So people are already kind of getting ready for the pullback. Again, obviously, because it's sitting up there at an overbought perspective. So guess what? They buying way down here in the 1300s. Right? Or somebody, no, that's not 1300. I forgot the stock is at 1200, but they buying way deep in the money in some of these puts. Right? Somebody paid basically $9,400 for a $1,300 put buy. $9,000 for one contract. Look how many of them bought though. 1,400. Somebody preparing for the pullback, or some people were preparing for the pullback, and that's $9,000 a contract. Literally about 9.5, $9,500 a contract. Somebody preparing for that pullback. Now they may eat really good if that stock pullback. If was a fifth, of course, they still got to say if, allegedly, right? If the stock does pull back 7%, 8%, 10%, this guy right here, these people here, whoever that's in that there, right? Exhale. Boy, they're gonna get paid. Paid. Rapid drop like that, Delta finna go instant to 100 plus. Instantly. On the gap down, IV crush on the put side, on the call side, instantly they finna make buku bank. Buku bank. Yeah, I don't even want to do all the calculations right now, because I don't want to, disturb my Sunday, because I already know the kind of Monday. If it falls in a certain level, especially if it falls 20%, 10%, full 10%, then a little more. Oh boy, you might getting paid. Look at the money or close to the money. I mean, well, we'll say in the money still, excuse me, in the money at 12.50, 2,000 those were bought. Those contracts were 5,000 a piece. All right. Now it starts to get down inside, right at, at the money or, a little bit out of the money. Look at there. 1220s, 4,000 for those contracts. 1,200, 4,000 there. Open interest kind of, stacking up there. Those contracts, $3,000 a piece. Right. Let's get down to some of the under $1,000 contracts. Let's see what they look like. Look at it. They down here at 1090. Right. 1090. Roughly near what, $170 away, somewhere around there, give or take, $180 away. Those contracts, look, 1,000 those were bought. That's $1,000 contract. 1085, $900 contract. 1080s, look at, see, $900 contract, 2,000 bought. Look at, let's go down towards the 1,000 mark. $400. Look how many were bought. Look at the open interest, 36,000 of them. $500 probably well spent if the market definitely pulls it back tomorrow, because those guys gonna make some bank. That $400 gonna be worth, man, easily over what, 5,000 plus possibly, give it take, probably more. I'm just doing the math quick in my head trying to, right? Easily over $5,000 plus from 400. If it came down, definitely to that price. It's that kind of, see, this is why people love this, right? Look at it, $900 strikes and all this stuff like that. People loading up. They were loading up last week. Now, they didn't know this was going to happen, of course, but you get my point. They're looking at the chart like we just looked at and said, again, the thing had to come, pull back. It's going to have to pull back at some point. Right? So, yeah, that's a part of the game, guys. We watch these things for a reason. Right? We watch these things for a reason. Right? Because this is how you connect those dots. This is how you make it all make sense. Dollars and cents, that is. And then you move on from there. Right? You move according to, what are the tea leaves showing you or revealing to you. So again, those cheap contracts that were bought Friday, they finna get paid. Just like how Moderna was when it gapped down on that news that, Pfizer finna drop that COVID pill on top of bad earnings that Moderna had. Literally, I had a lot of one that I had that's sitting out there, like paid like what, $7, $8 for it, $9, something like that. But what was the 190 strike? It was a 170, 180 strike, something like that, 189. And that thing worth like $260, $70 for that that profit value in that, from $9. $9 turned into base to $260 plus. It's that kind of stuff that happen in the market. Like, goodness, bruh. Like, yeah, I could have bought like a gang of them, but I was already doing other stuff too, and just had some on the higher level on other stuff. You just throw stuff out there because you're like, okay, well, this might be one of those trip up moments where they might get tripped up. Let me throw a little, and things were like $260 plus come Friday. That's the market. So Tesla, as of now, yeah, it's the put buyers are definitely like, okay, they rubbing their hands right now tonight doing the Birdman rub. They all excited, right? They're all excited, obviously, right? And we'll just see whether or not they really get a chance to push that stock down, right? We'll see. We shall see. Right. So I'm excited to see one way or the other, because I realize, as an investor, I'm not concerned about that. One iota, I understand the game. Yeah, if we can get things cheaper, look, let's go. It was already overbought. Let it come down. Let it breathe. Let it get back inside some normalcy of terms of a notable trend that we can start charting from a peak to trough. Right. Let us get us a mean line reversion. Let us get us some standard deviations set up properly, and so we can get right back to doing what we do best. Plotting for either more growth or plotting for the next pullback. Either way, we'll be ready for it. Right? Makes no never mind to me. Right? Makes no never mind to me one way or the other, because again, discipline always still going to be the name of the game. So the articles are all over the place too as well. So I'm pretty sure y'all been seeing them in your news feeds, and people been posting it and talking about it and blah 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 blah. Right? Yeah, we get it. Right? It's a hot button topic. It's a hot button topic. Right? So, CNBC and the likes of many others, of course, Elon Musk, says using Twitter for determine the future of 10% of the stock. Yeah. All right. That was the other day. All right. But like I was saying, his brother had already sold some stock too. Right. So there, yeah. On the whole back of the idea with the whole Hertz deal, them buying 100,000 Tesla vehicles. Yeah. Again, the stock just had a massive run. Massive run. Right. So, again, the idea that he was already planning for it at some point, this just may be the reason to pull go ahead and pull that trigger. All right. Go ahead and pull that trigger. Right. So again, hey, whatever works. See, right? I have a bunch of options that are expiring. That's that part right there. I have a bunch of options that are expiring early next year. This was last year, right? Right. Well, no. These are the ones for this year. Excuse me. Going into Q4. Q4 obviously goes into 2022. So a huge block of options will sell in Q4, right? Because I have two, right? Or they'll expire. Musk said that at the conference, right? So you have an option that he need to sell basically. Right? A huge block of option that he will sell in Q4. So this may spark some of that, and this may be a part of that. Who knows? But either way, it's it's worth it. At this point, look at it at $6.24, and them things probably worth so much now. Ooh, them things probably worth like what? Like 10,000. Excuse me, like about $100 plus. I can only imagine. $10 plus, whatever. However, they're worth a lot. They're worth a lot, basically. Man, so yeah, he's gonna get paid one way or the other. However he does it, far as the stock is involved, whatever. Now that leads me to the next conversation, the next topic point, real quick before we get ready to kind of get through some of the other stocks. So the idea that this may or may not hurt the EV space stocks. Of course, those stocks that are the followers of the sympathetic plays in that space as well, right? Of course, we're talking about what? We're talking about Neo, XP, Ford, right? Lucid, right? Nikola, a lot of those, right? Will they be also will they also be sympathy sell-offs too, right? Will they also be sympathy sell-off plays too? Now, this is the backdrop of the infrastructure bill being passed. That everybody knew that this was going to be bullish for some of those stocks Monday. People already planning to trade Lucid and XP and Neo off this infrastructure bill because there's money allocated to EV companies, EV, players, regardless. So now it's like, okay, does this nuke everything in the markets, right? Does this Elon move nuke everything in the markets? Well, possibly. But then again, maybe not. Again, 7.5 billion was allocated for what? Electric vehicles, right? Transportation safety programs, all that stuff. We went over some of that. Look, these companies were waiting to benefit off that as well. So they were like, okay, this is gonna be good. But now Tesla, Elon, that is, then probably just threw cold water on everybody, little moment, right? A little bit. Again, we still don't know what the future market's going to do. We still don't know, but indications shown from what we looked at, even far as the FTX chart of Tesla is pulling back. Germany is showing Tesla getting beat up. And yeah, it could easily, stun a little bit of that euphoria coming out of what? Out of the infrastructure bill that was going to go into the Sunday's futures market. Because keep in mind, the S&P 500 is still extended too. It's not like it's not. Right? It's not like the S&P 500 is not extended as well. But again, like I said, Wall Street don't care. Right? Wall Street does not care. I mean, it looks about the same as Tesla chart, obviously, because a lot of those traded, they trade in the convergence perspective. I mean, look at the chart real quick here. I mean, hey, we ain't making this stuff up. Them jokers trying to plan for, for more price action if they can get it, right? Again, people don't complain when they start going higher, when they're making money. People rarely complain when they're making more money. Same scenario like Tesla. Extending away from 20-day moving average, as you see there. Evening star or a spinning top, whatever you want to call it there, got outside the band slightly. Now it's back in a little bit. Yeah. All right. 1 second, I'm sorry. So, I mean, you see clearly here what's going on with the stock, right? You see that extension on the 20-day moving average here, that mean value there, right? That deviation, right? If you want to use that, it's up there, right? It could easily, bring attention to this thing pulling back. 200 days sitting at course 418, yeah, good luck. Yeah, but again, greed is the name of the game. RSI sitting at 76 on the SPY. And again, you got an infrastructure bill that was somewhat already priced in because they kept kicking that can in the road. But again, Wall Street does not care. If it can go higher, it will try to go. Crazy move off this low here at 426 area. Ran all the way up to 465. You talking about crazy. And there's 60 points. They're straight up like there's no inflation, there's no problems, there's no supply chain issues, there's none of that. Even with reduction of bonds, this is the nuttiness of markets that says, you know what? If there's nothing else out there, then play ball. So we play ball. Because again, the wealthy class or the wealth value in markets that allow people who realize their power within this, again, the average Joe can have that much level of opportunity afforded to them through these scenarios because they know markets are more saturated and people who feel like there's nothing else out there because of COVID and other things too. They're like, okay, well, look, my money's more suited in equity markets than I can just say going out there trying to risk getting a job, right? Or risk whatever, right? Starting a business, whatever the case. This gives me a least path of resistance. So the market says, okay, we'll add yours to ours and we add this to that. And we know that more people are excited about our markets that are outside the country, right? The international players, they're not going to be going ham in their markets when they know our zone is more liquid and they come invest in our markets too. That's just fuel on the fire. And you have moves like this in the SP 500, just staggering, just straight up to the upside. After pulling back the way they did here, almost in a straight line, you see that there. And then it just V-shaped right back up. Like, okay, yeah, we here now, right? Like, yeah, we here now. Right? Just V-shaped rocket back up like it ain't nothing. Right? And from what it's worth, people will be like, okay, well, yeah, that's the market, man. That's how this stuff work, bro. Yeah, but for the most part, at some point you got to have some equilibrium, right? Some balance. If that balance is not starting to present itself or show itself in a way where people can see, okay, well, yeah, at some point we gotta allow markets to kind of cool off to a degree, possibly. If you don't start getting something like that, then yeah, it can become problematic because you can run a lot of things red hot so far so long, and that cause a lot of people to start buying up at the top because they feel like, okay, it's not going to drop. They get caught up in food's gold, and then it plummets, it pulls back on, and now all the people trapped up here is buying at 460 and 465, 470, whatever, because the market's not being allowed to have healthy pullbacks and healthy corrections. They get caught holding the bag up at the stop, pull all the way back to 20 moving at about 455. Guess what? Call the SEC. Somebody get SEC on the phone, man. These people crooks, man. They fraud, bro. They scam. This is a scam, boy. We heard it all, right? That's markets. As they say, greed is good, right? Greed is good in equity markets. Of course, ethically, that doesn't sound right or make sense. But again, you ask yourself, do Wall Street care? They're benefiting off the idea that the Feds is being accommodative and still pumping taxpayers' money into the marketplace. Essentially, that's what's happening. Put it in layman terms, put away all the spookiness and the and ifs and buts. That's essentially what's happening. The Feds are pumping taxpayers' future value money into the what? To the stocks. So again, that's why they keep saying asset ownership is the name of the game of the day. You have to understand this. You have to understand this. It's not running from it if you're a person who kind of yet to kind of understand it. But that don't necessarily mean you need to invest in it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying this is where a lot of people's money is going. And it's exacerbating their livelihood because why? They're paying higher prices at the pump, higher prices at the gas, at the grocery store, at the lumber yards, right? They're paying higher prices because of inflation, because of excessive printing, which is diluting the power of their money, which is driving the price of these goods up because the production level of these companies that need to get them out there to lower the cost is not happening for other reasons beyond supply chain and other scenarios. They've been priced out, right? So there's a shortage across the board. And that's why, everything is much more expensive. And the markets are like, okay, we don't care. Let's go higher. Like they've been doing basically since the COVID lows, right? So people have yet to realize that. I mean, this thing, look, look at that. Look at that. Right? No matter how I squinch this thing down, it's just been a rocket ship. Right? It's been a rocket ship. Of course, you put it on charts like, like the monthly chart, it's gonna really look, it's gonna look really horrendous, right? You're like, how's that even legal, bro? That ain't even legal. Yes, it is. It's legal because the people who control the money that's printing it, telling you we're gonna keep printing it. Since the last crash, 2008, 2009 subprime lending crash, look at that. This thing been a straight line up. Straight line up. Look before that. Did the market ever have that kind of level? Slightly coming out of 94. You went straight up to what? To 2000. So that was every bit about what? 6-year run, 6-year bull run, and then it pulled back. This time, 2009 to 20, that's been what? 12-year, 10-year bull run. Almost seen me with no pullback in sight since the little COVID pullback we had. That didn't even last, right? Straight up in a straight line. Now, convince me how you don't see growth. Right now, people don't know that. Yeah, it could pull back over the next 2-3 years, and we don't have the level of growth that we maybe had 2020 because of the Feds and this, that. Yeah. Ask yourself that question: do you think people just gonna pull out the market altogether just because they feel like this may be getting a little better on the workforce, or this may be a little bit different because of that? See, people who already understand it now and realize that, okay, well, even if we can't get 80% in a year like we did, the last year or so or whatever, if we can still get 7, 10%, 20%, 15%, 30%, that's still more than what any money market account can pay you. So they don't care to that level. See what I'm saying? So the game is always going to be set in motion to protect those who are off in it, because there's a free flow of capital that always finds its way to the shareholders in the more, obviously more suitable companies, that is. But for the most part, the markets are always going to try to find a way to outperform. Any natural disaster, any man-made catastrophe on the economic side, they eat it for that moment, they shrug it off, and okay, let's go higher. Let's keep buying. Buy. So that's why we're not sitting there trying to politic with ourselves out of this opportunity. I'm not going to politic my way out of this because I understand what's going on. Even if it pulls back. Wow. Look, even let it pull back to 200 moving average. Let it come down to 202 on the monthly chart. What? We'll buy the brakes off that. Right? Of course, we know that ain't going to happen unless something crazy happens. It can happen. Let me say that. But it has to be something crazy. COVID didn't even make it, give us that kind of scenario. Look at there. Here it is in there on the COVID on the weekly chart. S&P 500 is sitting on what? Basically at the mean line. At around the mean line a little bit, around 258, 260 area, and still got room up to the upside, up to near $500 a share. People already planning for the market to be at $500 a share around Christmas time. So we'll just say, hypothetically around this time right here, right? So we'll just draw like, put out a little, a little $500 per share, right? At or around, right? At or around, right? We'll play that game, right? So we'll play that game, right? At or around this point right here, right? So we'll say, we just draw a little arrow right around this point here because we're on the weekly, right? So we'll put it around somewhere around here, right? I mean, it's crazy, right? Couldn't make this stuff up. So they're planning for it. So that means the stock just got to what? Trend at around the mean line, always aggressively up to the upside, then break a little bit along the way, and it could easily probably end up being near $500 a share around Christmas time. With inflation, with the Feds are starting to what? Pull back on their what? The bond purchases and mortgage-backed securities, all that. 15 billion this month, 15 billion next month, on and on to about around June before they wind down their so-called bond purchases. That still doesn't negate the fact that they still back in the market. Why? Because they still got the reverse repo operation market. Got him, right? Still got him, right? Still got him, right? So again, this is why, right? So really quick, right? Let's run over here really quick. This is why people are not sitting there concerned about all the other stuff that's out there, because they already understand how markets work, right? The Feds are telling you so many ways. Yeah, we still got other ways to be accommodative. A lot of people miss it to understand it, but look, they still got a $1.3 trillion back door. They got a $1.3 trillion back door still. That's okay. Even if you add the mortgage-backed security and that stuff into this too, okay, that's 120 billion. That's about a what? Half of that of this, not even the 1.3 trillion, but within inside this aspect of the 3 billion that's outside of the one, you still got a trillion plus in reverse repo operation that's still happening for the markets right now, where the bonds are being relinquished by the banks, fund managers, and the Feds are taking those bonds, right, to keep the bond market subdued, giving these banks and stuff liquidity, obviously cash, fake fiat currency, and then those banks like BlackRock, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citi, et cetera, Morgan Stanley, they're taking that money and going to invest in the stock market. Facts. They're not upgrading their ability to give out more loans at their banks or institutions and do this, that, and the third. They're investing in the stock market. Facts. Even outside the Fed's own mandate of $120 billion of bonds and mortgage-backed securities, they still got the reverse repo operation at $1 trillion now. $1 trillion. This is happening on a daily basis. See right there? That's daily auctions. Daily. For one scenario, time frame, which is about 12:45, leading into the next day around the same. So 24-hour values. Trillion with a T. See, this is the part of the game where a lot of people don't go with this stuff. And they're like, well, how is the market still? Well, this is why we talk about it, right? This is exactly why we talk about it on our side, right? This is why, right? We understand it, right? We know how this stuff works. So again, this is why markets are flush with cash, and they will stay that way. And Tesla can throw a hissy fit and pull back, and it may stifle the market growth a little bit. But at the end of the day, look, people realize that, okay, on a long-term perspective, unless all this stuff right here go away, then yeah, I'm going to definitely stay, focus in building on my positions, well into next year and whatever, until something changes or whatever, to the level where I just go in what they call coast mode and let my already founded positions just work, right? Whether they pull back a little bit or not, just let them work. That's a power asset ownership, right? This is the power asset ownership. All right. So yeah, we get it. This is the name of the game. Follow the money. You either follow the money or you're going to be, meaning you're going to be the recipient of people going in your pocket getting your money, meaning governments, meaning being shortchanged through your employee, right? They're not paying your worth, or your employer, not paying your worth, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Y'all know how this stuff go, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. Keep that in mind. So stay focused. Keep your mind focused on your money. Don't worry about all the things that you cannot change. Realize that growth is inevitable once you realize, how to parse your time out properly. Don't get caught up in temptation, diverse temptation. Don't get caught up in trivial things. Don't get caught up in trying to, prove that you know more than everybody on the planet. Stay within your lane, right? And just know that you have access to the most wealthiest transfer ever in American history, right? World history. And the fact that we're here proves that, because we're trying to figure out how we can get our portion of it. It's already owed to you, right? Because the government been going to your pocket, checking you down for years. Now it's time for you to learn how to get some of that money back. Simple as that. So that's what we do over here, right? That's why we discuss these kind of things when we make these, these kind of declarations of opportunity out there, because a lot of people will be first to tell you, man, don't worry about all that. Go get your job. Okay, you can get a job and do this. Duh. You don't have to be one or the other. You can start a business and do this. Duh. Right? It don't have to be one or the other. See how that works? Multiple streams of income. Let's go. Right? We can show you plenty of stocks that we've watched grow. Again, that's before I didn't get a chance to even go with them. But really quick, come Monday, right? Really quick. Let me hit a couple of these up real quick, and I'm gonna get on off here. Right? Come Monday, these guys, like right here, some of these guys right here, see, this is Plug, right? Been in Plug since $6 a share, whatever, here and there. I remember when Plug was trading at $1 plus. I remember when Plug was way down here under $1. True story. I've day traded plenty of times down there. Of course, I would have loved to take a massive position on Plug way back then and there. The expansion of the EV market at that point, or the renewable energy space, was just yet at its fledgling state, though. We needed that kind of extra push, and then became more relevant the more we began to see the extent to how Tesla became more relevant, and then the ideal that the president scenario started becoming more, marketing, marquee values toward that aspect of our evolution, right, in America, right? Clean energy, whatever. Man, boatload down there under 9. The thing went to 60, right? This happened in there been in what? 18, 21. Do the math on that. 18, right? 21, right? So we talk really 2019. That's when it was right there. So you talk about roughly what, 2 years? The thing went from $1 to $60 a share. Let that marinate for a moment. I've been in Plug on a longer position around about 6 and change. When it's 7, my average up a little bit now, but that's when I first started initiating a real serious one. I've been adding into it, and it's starting to curl back up again because of what? This whole idea of the, infrastructure bill. They're going to benefit from it, right? Let's go to the daily chart. You can see a little bit more, relevant there, how that thing just been kind of consolidating in this straight line, almost going to curl up a little bit, kind of, getting back some of that coming off the back of the support around 19, right? And now we starting to curl back up a little bit. This is what news for us, positive news for us in the infrastructure bill. It's positive for Plug. Positive. And they got earnings coming up here shortly, But beyond that alone, this is still positive for them. Look at the stock growth on the daily. Riding at 200, breaking out, come back down to it, snake at or around it or below it, get back above it finally, heading into earnings, about the 20-day moving average. Yeah. And you got an infrastructure bill at your back door now. Get excited. Plug. Clean energy renewals. Infrastructure bill. It's in there. Right? The sauce, like Prego, it's in there. Right? It's in there. Go down in the description box down there, you see it clearly. Right? EVs, right? Vehicles, right? Port infrastructure, transportation safety programs, public transit passenger, revitalization of communities, zero and low emissions buses and fuel and ferries. All this stuff is kind of wrapped up into the ideal of that, right? Because it's still a part of being able to fuel them, manufacture them, again, resurface them, upkeep them. All those things play into that, even down to the batteries, right? That go into some of these vehicles that they're going to need within this clean energy. Guess who's going to be the producers of some of these scenarios, these clean energies? The people who plug, many others. F cell, right? Another one, right? Infrastructure bill part 2 conversation here, right? Infrastructure bill part 2 conversation here. Hint, hint, wink, wink, right? Hint, hint, wink, wink. On the daily, F cell, same scenario. The chart looks just like what? Plug. Both of them above their 20-day moving average, starting to make a move here. 20 moving average just now starting to catch back up with the 200 there. You need that 20 definitely to get back above the 200. That'll be even more bullish for FCL. It's right there, almost neck to neck. Look at that, almost neck to neck. That 20 moving average has to cross back over that over that 50. Excuse me, that 200 there. That really will get FCL pumping. FCL got down as low as like $5 a share after running as high off his first banger up near 30. It came all the way back down to 5. Yeah, but again, we remember FCL when it was trading down here at $2 a share, just going sideways, rambling all over the place. It was down here in the low values of the 50 cents, 70 cents area. All this here, we remember this stuff in FCL. And it went from 50 cents, 30 cents, all the way there, all the way up to like $30 in about a year. People don't understand this, right? It's crazy. I know. Like, make that make sense, brother. How a stock can go from 30 cents, 40 cents, all the way up to $20 in about a year and a half. From 30 to 40 cents a share to 20, basically $30 in a year and about a half. 30 cents, that's in your couch right now, in your wife's pocketbook or your boyfriend wallet or whatever, piggy bank, or that's in your ashtray in your car and all. 30 cents somewhere on the ground out there on the street somewhere right now. Yeah, and that's now worth, at the peak it was worth $30. Right now it's just worth like about $8, $9. That's still more than what it was when you found it. In this investment vehicle, though, inside of this investment vehicle. And it's starting to curl back up. Right? It's starting to curl back up. Right? Starting to curl back up. And this infrastructure bill definitely plays into it. Couldn't make this stuff up. Right? Infrastructure bill part 2 conversation. Again, hint, wink, wink. Another one. EV charger stations. Blink. Don't that chart look just like the other ones? Right? You notice that? They all look alike. Wow. Right? Using some of my homeboy over there at Wall Street, right? Maverick of Wall Street. Wow. Right? They all look alike, don't they? See how that work? Rounded bottoms. Pinging, 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 pinging. Guess what? Infrastructure bill. Charging stations. Some of that money allocation finna go to Blink. Some of that business finna go to Blink. To what extent, when it move, how it move, when it's all that's to be determined. But just know they're going to benefit from some of that cash infusion because of this infrastructure bill. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Infrastructure bill part 2 conversation now. Right? I'm rambling through it really quick so I can get through it. Right? These are the ones we didn't get a chance to talk to yesterday. Right? They there, right? These little opportunities are there, guys. I don't know what people be talking about, but look, bruh. We be on them, right? We won't mess around, right? And it was just dirt cheap. This thing was dirt cheap, just like the rest of them. Look here, look where it came from, right? Last year, Blink, $1.35. We were, look, I don't want to keep saying we were doing this and we're doing that. We were. I ain't got to keep saying at this point because we got videos to show that we was already talking about a lot of this stuff and going over it and whatever, right? I'd be all day talking about that, but y'all get it. You guys get it. That's why it's always good, when you see things like this happening, the growth of stocks can be what? The growth of stocks can be what? Verified by the value of how you've seen their growth and the things that are coming in or around them on the fundamental perspective to show you that these companies are what? Founded in a good use case perspective, meaning they're going to have business based upon their engineering and technology and innovation. That's a good thing if you can now gain market share because you are a major player in the space. And it's a new space that's yet to still blossom because people want in on it now. That's where the future's headed. That's all I'm saying. Make it not make sense, right? If the future's heading that way and you're trying to say it's not, then okay. All right, good luck with your little Flintstone mobile then, bro. Get out there, put your little shoes on and, scatter what the hell, skedaddle on the work, right? With your little feet, right? If you don't want to use, yeah, that's how this stuff works. Infrastructure bill part 2 conversation, right? Hint, hint, wink, wink. All right. Best in breed on that side of the thing in terms of what? Charging stations, right? EV charging stations. That's going to be all over your what? In your little neighborhoods now, finally. Not just the grocery stores now, but they're going to eventually start popping up at what? At some of these gas stations. Ain't that going to be a conflict of interest? EV charging station at a gas station, it's coming. It's coming. Shell got a project already out there. We spoke about that. Open Sunday was speaking about that too. This coming. They want in on it too. They're going to have to get in on it too. Or get left behind. They ain't crazy. Hint, hint, wink, wink. One of my favorites here. ChargePoint. ChargePoint. They just IPO'd recently here, just coming out of what? End of 2019, right? Same scenario. SPAC scenario. About $10, a share on the SPAC. Turned out, they're going to be one of the top producers of charging stations. Okay. It went from 9 up to near $50 a share. Pull back. And now you right back in that same level. Above the 200 moving average, above the 20. Need the 20 to catch up with the 200. Obviously, you see that there. You need that 20 to catch up with the 200 here. That'll really make it, a bullish. And that can easily happen on the back of this bill. Possibly. But hold up. Let me draw that a little bit better. Right. But you notice something with these charts, though, right? Hold up. Yeah, let's do the same. You notice something with these charts. They all look about the same, don't it? Notice that? These little rounded bottoms, right? I mean, not making this stuff up, guys. You guys get it. You see it. All of them about look the same. Again, infrastructure bill works in their favor. Hint, hint, wink, wink. There's another one. ChargePoint. Right. These are the ones that are off the beaten path a little bit, besides the names that you're seeing in my description box for us, what the money gonna go to. I'm telling you, these are the ones that are behind the scenes. Right. Not done yet, right? EV Go, that's another one, right? Same scenario. It IPO. It came to market just recently last year around November. SPAC, $10, went all the way up and hit like 24, got dusted, came all the way down to $7. Now it's getting back up to where IPO'd at around about $9 a share. Okay, it's still a fresh stock, obviously, but guess what? Infrastructure bill works in their favor. EV Go charging stations. I think it's an EV Go up into the Cheesecake Factory where I'm at in my area, right? But they're around already. They already got some of the charging stations up right now. Up. Their earnings coming up here shortly, on the 10th, unless then push back or whatever. But yeah, it definitely has to claw the fight to get above that 20 they moving at, which is around about $11 here. If they can make that happen, obviously that'll be bullish, even more bullish for them. But it's a part of that EV space, clean energy infrastructure bill scenario. EV Go, EVGO. Right. So we talked about some of these, we didn't get a chance to break into these yesterday because it was so many we was going over, right? Where's my other one? Was it not it's not CI, it's God, what's that ticker symbol? Is it CI? Yeah, when you go with so many stocks, you just forget them all, right? They ain't there. I know it's CLNE, right? We got CLNE. This is definitely one that Ober Chris is in as well, I believe. In that same space we talked about yesterday with IEA, some of those like on that level. somewhat to a degree because this is on the clean energy side. But same pattern. Look, same chart pattern as what plug F sale. Notice that all of them look the same. Same scenario. This right here was dirt cheap too, right? Cobra Lowe's had this thing down like 90-something odd cents a share, dang there. And it went up as high as what? 18 to 19, 20 bucks a share. Pull back, consolidated. Now it's sitting there hovering around $8 a share, above its 200-day moving average, above its 20-day moving average, barely. Well, a little bit below its 200-day moving average, 20 moving average now, right? On a daily, that is. But it's above its 20-day at least. Excuse me, 200-day, right? It's above its 200-day barely, but it's there. So that's still a bullish scenario, as long as you ain't below it, at least. But guess what? Infrastructure bill, and they got earnings, that just happened recently, and they got what? The infrastructure bill now on the chopping block for them. Cash infusion, clean energy. See, infrastructure bill, part 2 conversation. Some of the stocks. These the behind the scenes one, and there's others too, because I could be here for a long time going into this. But a lot of the stuff that you see down in my description box, they're very, 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 Brother Ramsey, conversation, bro. I don't allow that. I got young folk that watch this page, bro. I'm gonna need to remove that last message. We need to clean up a little bit. Stay focused, brother. Stay focused, Brother Ramsey. Stay focused. Got young folks. Got a couple elder people who is watching. So let's stay focused on that one now. Right, on some of that now. But yeah, so look, y'all know down these other companies, or the ideal of some of the other ones, are what? They found data. You already know what they are because it's telling you what they are, right? They're telling you what they are, right? So let's go there, right? Let's go there and look at some of these right here, right? Let's look at some of these right here. Because, these are self-explanatory. The ones I just railed off was ones that you like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. All right, that just makes sense. Yeah, it does, right? Here, see? Airports, not just the plane, but the tarmac that they ride on, right? All the machines that make up the airport. The ability, to resurface the buildings that need updating, and all that stuff. Airports. So not just Delta, United Airlines, and American Airlines, and all that, but other parts of that too. You got to dig a little deeper to figure out all those things that within the airport that could be benefiting for some of that money. That's $25 billion. See, those things are self-explanatory, right? The EV stuff that I was just, rolling off just recently, that's behind the scenes. Port infrastructure, right? Port infrastructure, not rocket science. You can dig through that and figure out exactly what that is. We're no public transportation. Upgrading public transportation. Again, y'all know city buses and stuff like that finna be electric at some point. School buses are already going there. School buses are already going electric. Figure out some of the companies that are going to get those contracts to make those school buses electric. Is it Rivian? Is it Lord of London? Is it Workhorse? Right? United States Post Office deal that probably went sour with them a little bit, right? But United States Post Office, how many of them little, post office little trucks they got running around all over the place? A lot of those are going to be electric at some point. You need to figure out who's going to be able to get those contracts to make sure they electrify the post office. And all them little trucks that run around, they're going to be electric now. Infrastructure bill, $39 billion. That's just the beginning. That's what's great about it. This is just the beginning, right? Again, zero and low emissions buses and ferries. They still got some of them still gonna be gas based, right? Gas, ice, and all that. But they're gonna try to find the ones that have what the best, setup for these buses and ferries. So who can build a better engine that's low emission? Or better boat altogether that's low emission. That may still run on gas, but for now, we'll take it. They're not polluting the universe that much more, right? Broadband internet, not rocket science. Y'all know what's going on there, right? The major players that's in that space, right? 5G, all that stuff like that. Those companies like that, Xilinx and AMD. That's communicate. What's the other communication company? Not Qualcomm alone. Qualcomm. What's the AVGO? What's AVGO? It's broadband, something like that. What is it? God, I've seen so many of these stocks. Yeah, Broadcom. All them, see, all them old school, right? All them is gonna be the type that you want to watch on that side. right? We're talking about broadband internet connectivity, right? Not rocket science, right? Go look at some of these phone companies that can benefit from this too, right? Not just Verizon and T-Mobile, all the basic, but the ones that's behind the scene. Look at Broadcom. Broadcom just been blasting off, blasting off, blasting off. It's crazy, right? This stock here was just another one that was like, before COVID hit, it was down here, way down here, way down here. Let me come way down here. $1.40, well, $145 a share, excuse me, 145 a share. And now it's sitting at 500 in a year and 7-8 months. From 145 to 550, 560 really. Broadcom, 5G, all that stuff, broadband internet connectivity, infrastructure bill. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Expensive though in this one, but stickativity value of going forward, yeah, they can get some of this money in contracts. Power infrastructure, PCG, right? PG&E, Next Era. I think Brother Brandon spoke about that and many others, right? We spoke about some of them yesterday. Again, I can go on and on and on. Clean drinking water. Find these companies that deal with clean drinking water. Find these companies that deal with clean drinking water. Find them that are publicly traded, right? Find them, guys. These are just the blueprint. This is just the blueprint. This is the stuff that's in the bill. This is not me making this stuff up. This is stuff that's in the bill in terms of the allocation of the money. Guys, you got to look. We got to get to it, guys. We got to get to it. Right? We got to get to it. Right? So I'm just saying, this is how you follow the money, as they like to say, as we like to say, follow the money. GE, y'all see, y'all thinking now, right? GE, right? Look at Broadcom. Broadcom been dusting it, boy, been dusting it. 145 away to 558. So yeah, GE gonna benefit. Of course they are. Of course they are. Right? Of course they're gonna benefit. Right? Right? GE was just kind of like left for dead down there. Then they had to do the the Icky Wood shuffle, right? Literally, right? Right? They had to do the dreaded, let's do a split, but it's working now. Right? Now they starting to do what? Consolidate. Now they starting to kind of plan for that what? They planning for the rainy day to kind of get serious about what's going to come next. See, they did a split recently here, 1 for 8, right? 1 for 8 for a split. So that's why I sitting up here showing at 100 now when it was really about $9-10 for the moment. But yeah, now you starting to move a little bit. So you got some wind on your back. You got they kind of shedded some of the fat that they needed to in terms of some of the projects that they had in-house that were weighing the company down, that was not producing profit, because at the point where GE was just taking on too much and the market was just not giving them that kind of level of favorability anymore, being an old school company. Beyond the little refrigerators and washing machines and all that, they had pharmaceuticals, they had all kinds of stuff, airplane engines, they were doing it all. So they had to trim some of that fat a little bit. They did a lot of that during 2018, 2019, right? Into 2020, and they start really planning for the future. Now they want to be a part of that back end infrastructure in terms of the engineers for clean energy, electric vehicles and stuff like that. They really trying to retool themselves for that. So guess what? GE, not just light bulbs, right? They're going to do other stuff too in the future for that electrification of America. See how that work? This is what it takes. So dig a little deeper, guys. The money allocation, the removal of pollution from water and soil. Companies that specialize in that. See, you could just take those titles. You can just see. Look, let's do this really quick here, really quick. Right. Let me show you how easy this is. It's 1, 2. It's a 1, 2, 3, easy peasy, easy peasy, easy peasy. See right here. Do that there. Highlight it. Hit search those companies. Right. Right. Or that scenario and put. Let's see if we can come up with some. Let me put it like this here. Let me go over here. right here. Let me see, those are some of those. Let me find a way to do this here. Let's do this here. Let me come over here. Futures markets is open. The future markets is open. I repeat, the future markets is open, and oil has gapped up by 3%. Oil is up by 3%. That means this infrastructure bill, on top of other stuff, of course, because obviously some of the clean energy scenarios obviously have some of that in there, but they had to try to reinvent themselves. But it's gapping up for other stuff, reason OPEC. But the junk gapped up around about 3%. Ain't that something? Futures market is open, right? Futures markets is open. So Elon got the markets on what? On blast. And as we know, like we said, we know the QQQs are going to be under pressure. Why? Because Tesla, right? So really quick, I got to run over in like 2 seconds to show y'all this because I'm getting ready to get off here in a minute too, right? But I got to show y'all this really quick, right? Really quick. Let's go see. Yep. So there, the NASDAQ tech, I said tech is already going to be in trouble. See, there you go, right there. Now we don't know the extent of how it's going to last, if it's going to last, if it's going to get worse. But this is the case on the back of Tesla. For the most part, this is on the back of Tesla. Right. Again, if Tesla's going to pull back about 10% tomorrow, 8%, we don't know, 6%, 7%, it ain't going to look good for tech either way you look at it. And then also Tesla's inside the S&P 500 for just waiting value. So they finna get what potentially. I got to keep saying that because markets are crazy. They'll reverse this mess here like it ain't none, like none other tomorrow. Right, meaning by throughout tonight until tomorrow, they'll reverse all this here, find a way to make the market bullish. But also, could it be that they'll go buy the rumor, sell the news? We spoke about that too in this infrastructure bill. Could it be a little bit of both, or could it be just Tesla? We don't know. This is what makes this whole thing crazy now because Elon Musk just put a monkey wrench in the infrastructure bill win that Joe Biden got, that he thought he got, even though it was a bad bill. We know it was already kind of DOA. And they kicked the can down the road even to get the bill passed, the vote on it, all this. So yeah, see, this gives them an excuse though. They can say, well, it was because of Elon. If the market don't accept this tonight in the futures market, and it shows up red tomorrow pre-market, they're gonna say, well, it's Elon's fault. See how that worked? Here it is, Elon finna sell stock to benefit the government. Could make this stuff up. Goodness, man, potentially, right? Potentially. Could make this stuff up. But look at oil ripping, right? Oil gapped up at some point on this, at some point through this, whatever, right? Oil up. I'm just, they up on other things too, and other reasons too, because JP Morgan is behind the oil market right now. They're saying we're still gonna be in the 80s for a while because of inflation. So right now it's a massive battle going on in tech. Like we just looked at the chart, the S&P 500. We know it's extended, but that infrastructure bill could definitely be more fuel to take it higher. We don't know. We were just saying, hey, we just got to wait to see. Go back, pulling back a little bit here, right? We'll see if that lasts, if it's going to be a bounce there or not. Bond markets of right now, the 10-year yield should be slightly up because of this, because of Tesla too. It is up slightly, 0.12%, right? But it's up, right? They just put a beating on the 10-year after that last FOMC meeting. It was, again, that's the Feds trying to keep the game rolling, keep the bubble inflated. They try to kill the 10-year yield because they know it's trying to read inflation data and go up organically. And every time it tries to do that, the Fed gets in the way and try to buy the bonds to subdue them. These people playing a wicked game, guys. Granted, they are playing a wicked game. They are. But whatever. So that's what we're looking like in the future market really quick. Let me get off that so I can get over here and then I can get off here, right? All right, really quick. Thank y'all for being with me. Thank y'all for being patient. Thank y'all for, adding to this, right? add to the bill, as we always like to, enrich ourselves with this information and knowledge, right? Really quick, let's get over here. I got to do this. See right here. One of the things down in my description box for the money that's going to be allocated inside the infrastructure bill is what? Removal of pollution from water and soil. That's 21 billion. That's not a whole lot, but I'm just showing you how you can query this stuff, right? You can go into Google while people are like, man, I don't know how to find this stuff. Stop. Just go start plugging stuff in there. See right there? I put what? Stocks for removal of pollution. That's what it is. It says removal of pollution from water and soil. I just copied it from down there and I put what? Stocks in front of that. Stocks for removal of pollution in water and soil. I ain't do nothing special. Y'all see it. I even got all caps and stocks. See, look, some of these right here. I don't know how late is this thing right here is, but I'm gonna click on it. I'm just gonna click on it, right? So this right here is as of November the 3rd. Environmental services stocks. How about that? U.S. News Monday. That's a reputable news source. U.S. News, right? Look here. Vertex. Heard of Vertex before? Definitely know about them. Definitely know about Hudson, right? Quest Resource Holdings. Look at this one. $5 a share, right? Hudson's $3. Vertex $4. Right? These low beta stocks a lot of times, but they offer some kind of value. What? Environmental services scenarios. So look here. They probably get some play now. Look at Clean Harbors. That's $100 one there. Avalon $4. Heritage Crystal Clean. Look at that. Now you got to find out which one of these. Some of these, there's others out there too, of course. I know a couple of them, but you got to figure out which one's the best in breed, which one has good return. This one here's up 95% on the year, right? This one here is up 100%. This one here is 100%. This one here is 100% for the year. Avalon's up 100%, right? In 1 year. Look at this. This one here's up 200% in a year. All this stuff is on the back of the infrastructure bill, clean up stuff. I ain't making this up. I'm going to show you how right now. Vertex is up 1,000%. I remember Vertex was it was dirt cheap. I do remember Vertex being dirt cheap down in, again, pennies, right? Pennies. Now it's up 1,000% in a year. Hudson, 253% in a year. All this stuff just happened behind the back of this infrastructure stuff. I'm not making this up, guys. Jan 1. This one here was just crazy, but this one here is a low float, right? It deals with that kind of scenarios too, right? Treatment of diseases, severe pain, Jan 1. It's within that. If they lock it into environmental services for some reason, apparently they do other stuff as well. But Jan 1 was one of the ones that is very, very super low float, and it ran hard at one point. And then there's more, right? Eva Quiet Water Technologies, right? Aqua, right? Y'all probably seen that ticker symbol several times, right? Water companies, water. This is definitely gonna be good for water companies being, cleaning them up and all this stuff like Flint. This one here is up 70% on the year. Right? Definitely know about Aqua myself personally there. Tetra Tech, right? Casell Waste Systems, right? See right here? Republic. Y'all know Republic is like the secondary to their waste management, right? They do trash and all that stuff like that. Hazardous materials. See, there's waste management. I knew that was gonna be far back, right? Waste Connections, right? Pure Cycle Technology, right? These just many of stuff. I'd be here for days going through all these different potential companies that could benefit possibly off this money. So let me drop this link in the back chat so y'all have it too. So that's how this stuff works. See how that work? See how that work? Appreciate it, bruh. Right? Right. Let me drop that off in the back chat for the family. And let me make sure I put the title in there because I just come back later, like, what's this link? Man, I don't know what this is. Because how people don't be want to do that research like that. So you got to give them that descriptive value, boy. Joe could be playing like they just like, oh, I just can't figure this out. Of course you can. You got to start thinking like a boss. Come on now, let's go. Let's get serious about getting this paper. Right? So that's the link for that. Because we're going to get this money. These stocks are already popping from last year, and now they got a real reason. They got a better reason to break out because this money is good. This check finna be cut. It's cut, literally. Right? That bill basically is on its way to get signed. Right? It's on its way to get signed. So we're not gonna, look, all right. I know I'm talking to a select few. I get it. right? And I'm humble for everybody to tune in because I realize, we are, we different. Against people watching football right now, like, man, come on, man, I got to get my football in. I get it. I ain't trying to invade your time, but I guarantee you this. What we're doing is setting up future opportunities for ourselves in our situation. So yeah, when your buddy hit you up, man, I seen you post that little stock on your page, man. You say you about 4,000% something. God dog, bro, what happened? Like, yeah, because of this. We was already doing this stuff. We go back as far as last year plus. We was talking about this stuff. We got the charts, we got the graph. Brother Ram said we were doing this a bit months ago. We are workers of this. You're right. We stay finding opportunity, right? And then we come back a year later, 8, 9, 10 months later, like, look, look where this is at. So environmental services stocks right there, right? That's your removal of what? Pollution in water and soil and other things, right? Because we just hazard materials, period. And you can go up this list here and do all those the same way I just did. So again, I just want people to convince me that they can't do what I just sat there and done. That took me every bit of a few seconds. And yeah. See how that worked? See, brother Sunline say what? Hudson was one of his stocks, beginner stocks. See how that worked? Pulse. See, all I did was what? Right click, left click, and went to Google. Same thing will be with resilience and Western water shortage. You can do that the same way. Clean drinking water. Some of those stocks going to be in the same, in the same stocks that we just looked at. Power infrastructure. You already know what's going on with that. That's going to be easy. Look at the money allocation. 65 billion, 73 billion, 55 billion, 50 billion, 21 billion. Just right click, select them, and then left click on them, and go straight to Google. Man, I'm going to need y'all to hit the Cash App for that one. Right? I'm going to need y'all to donate and hit that. What they call it? I don't even know what it's called on YouTube. The super chat. Yeah. I'm going to need y'all to hit the super chat on that one. And the Cash App. Now, this stuff ain't hard work, guys. That's all I'm saying. This stuff is not hard work. Stop acting like it. Stop being scared of information. You don't act that way when you're looking up, how to, find your little favorite little bicycle, little honey bun. Couldn't make this stuff up. We're not going to be intellectually lazy. Not over here. And we're not going to pander to that crowd. We're not. Because investing in trade is not a lazy man's game. We have just as much brain power and capacity to do these things. People sit around on Facebook doing the same thing and then getting paid for it. But guess what? Facebook getting paid for it. They just collecting all that data and selling it. Facts. Either you gonna control your content or somebody gonna control your content for you. And you ain't getting that from it. Simple as that. So yeah, go through all these different companies and put stocks in front of them, or just find a way to query it where you can find out which stock's gonna benefit. You can go and put literally into that into Google. Which stock's gonna benefit from, Joe Biden, whatever, right? Infrastructure bill. Seriously. Seriously. Right? I mean, it's crazy. Right? So last thing here, right? For get ready to get off here, right? Because we got to do another show, another part of this, right? Right. And of course, there's so many of them, you can't do all of it at once, right? And this Sunday, I got some other stuff to do too and get ready for. So really quick, see right here. See what I put in my search bar on Google? Stocks that will benefit from the infrastructure bill. Oh wow, that was just so hard. That was just so hard, man. Oh man, my fingers hurting, my broken nail, my back hurting off that. Man, I'm gonna lose some sleep on that one. Right? I'm not gonna be the same behind that because that took a lot out of me to put that in there. Now you had to do that, brother son. I was just saying. No, thank you, Over. No, I was just talking. I was just saying that seriously. Thank you. Humble. But now I was just saying that, just talking. Because you know how people is, we work over here. You know the game. You one of the founders in this perspective. You've been around since we did the first workshop in this. So we work. And a lot of people, we try to show people that they can be just as much, hands-on in this as we are, because we're not people who have an aspect of what, we don't have nothing extra that they don't have. I mean, let's be honest. What do we got different than what they got? We just come over here and work. That's what we do. We dig, we pull, we show people exactly how to find opportunity, right? We bridge methodology, saying, with interest level. We have an interest in this, right? We have an interest in this. So, of course, we ain't doing nothing that they can't do is what we try to show them. That's what we're trying to show them. Because each and every one of y'all guys, like I said before, you guys are the vanguard of this. You get to now go tell all your buddies, your family members, right? Your peers exactly why you love what you're doing. You serious about figuring out trying to grow wealth. Yeah, it don't have to come tomorrow. It don't have to be today. It could be, a year from now, 2 years, but it's coming. Why? Because markets are always going to reward the patient person. Again, the ideal of this stuff is that these companies have growth perspectives behind them. Why? We go look at the chart. Thank you, Over, money, brother Maniac. Thank you, Over. Humbled. Seriously, I was saying that because I was just trying to show people that we don't base our reality on that. But humbled. I'm humbled. Right? But we work. That's the part of what I was trying to say here. Right? We work over here. Right? Brother, I'm saying it's draining, right? But that's what makes it great. You work, it pays off in the long run. But why? Because over time, it's coming, right? It's coming. These stocks here are showing you that. A lot of these stocks we've been in, and they already did those kind of numbers. And many more, and they're gonna do more. We just talked about Tesla. Guy, we was in Tesla like $200-$300 a share. Some people got in around $400-$500 a share, and they still up, over 300%. All this happened in a matter of what, a year and a half, 2 years? People up 300-400%. It's like, stop playing. Let's go. Right? Simple Google query. Somebody on Facebook right now scrolling, waiting for likes, looking to get likes. They posting 1,000 pictures of them and their family, their babies. They just going on and on and on and on. They just hoping to get some attention. Look, I'm over here scrolling on Google, investment website, trying to find me some bread. Bruh. I'm scrolling through Google and investment Twitter and Snapchat and any of that stuff, Instagram. If you got where the stocks at, what them stocks at? That's what I'm like. What them stocks at? What them stocks? I was like, what them stocks at? I'm looking for the stocks. Right? I'm looking for the stocks. That's just me though. Y'all know how this stuff go because I'm not in the business of trying to say my way is better than everybody else's way or my way than highway. We don't do that over here. Again, like I said before, we don't do echo chambers over here. Right? We don't do implicit biases either. We gotta allow people to be who they are. We do that. We allow you to be who you are. Right? That's just how this stuff works, man. Because the market is so vast. Look, it's vast. But we will find a way to make a dollar out of 15 cents. I will look. look. We will find a way to make a dollar out of 15 cents. Right? And every now and then somebody come like, man, you just be talking. Y'all ain't doing that like that. And then we show them every now and then, but because we don't care about that, right? We're not in the business of even trying to prove that to even the people. That's just not us. Truly. Truly. I'm saying it because y'all know me. Y'all know me, and I know y'all. Right? I know you guys' is character on this side of the game, right? You're some most humble people out there, right? Hardworking, humble people. Right? I know this to be true. So that's why I know I'm proud that saying, but we peers in this, Ubuntu, because I know you guys take this stuff serious because y'all see the benefit in it. Y'all see the benefit in it. Right? Y'all see it. Y'all working through it like everybody else. You finding ways to get you a bag. And every now and then, you're like, hey, this, I'm finna show you exactly what we're talking about. It'd be that kind of scenario. I'm gonna show you what we're talking about. Right? It's not so much even for the fact that, whether they take you serious or not, but you're like, okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. And then you show them, then they be like, okay. Right? You see what I'm saying? Right? It's the ego chamber. I like that. Right? That's an even better way to put it, actually. But we humble. That's all I'm saying. We humble with it. But we show you, we go to work though. We go to work. We do a little something strange for a little piece of change, right? We will do a little something strange for a little piece of change, right here. See right there. That's what you call doing a little something strange for a piece of change. Like, bro, ain't no way in the world you'd have known that was gonna happen. This, that, and third. See, then you like, this is why you have a lot of plays and you respect the value of downtrends. You realize that things are up against a lot of pressure, and you realize that the competitors are putting more pressure on you when you're on the downtrend. They're kicking you, and you say, okay, well, I got other stuff going on too, but I'm gonna throw a little dollar over here. Just on GP, I'm gonna put $5 or $10 on it. I got to throw around. Then you wake up the next day. Oh yeah, the news did exacerbate their sell-off that was already happening. And guess what? They're in trouble. So guess what? $9 turned into $2.50. It ended up being around about $2.70 at the peak, right? I got rid of it at around about $2.60. Something pulled back, and when it got to pull back, I said, I'm out. But you see that right there. I just want to show people when we just be talking, and that's down the range a little bit there. That little play, right? In relation to a lot of other stuff out there that we do, is my point. But you see, you get our point. Is basically what I'm saying, right? That $9 that turned into $2.50, $2.60. When I sold it around $2.69, $9. Somebody got $9. They took the subway and got a $5 footlong and got heartburn or some gas. We took that $9 and went and got some real gas, some gas money, some natty gas money. Now we can show other scenarios like that too, of course. That ain't just no, you got lucky because that ain't no. We got others like that too, but I'm just showing you the extent of that. Then we got other ones that are bangers. But we're constantly moving and working, is my point. We're constantly moving and shaking and moving and moving and shaking, and y'all get it. So yeah, we're not just talkers, right? Is my point. We're not just only just talking, and y'all get it. We working. So but we're excited for this stuff because again, we are humble, and we're just trying to say, hey man, how can we help each other? How can we literally help each other? Find a way to benefit off this information. That's all we really care about. Let me be honest. That's the power of teamwork, right? That's why we say Ubuntu for a reason. We just want to help people get paid, right? We working. It let people know we ain't just talkers. We work too now. This little Friday action. Doing that. I ain't gonna show everything. I show a couple of, but that was just all Friday. 9 in the 260. Here's one where I paid 100 130. 130 brought back 600. Basically 467, about near 500. That's $130 that turned into basically 500. That was intraday. That wasn't no swing trade. That was intraday. I short at the top. I waited for that 470.50 print to hit. It printed. I got short on puts around about 470. What was it? 470.30ish, somewhere around there. Spent $130. That ended up being around about $500. Not rocket science. Not talk. Not. Look. Okay. Right. Brought all the way down to 467.07. $500 on a quick little $130 investment. Walk away all together with 600 plus. Done deal. Bada boom, bada bing. That's another one on Friday. On top of that, Moderna play. So that right there already in itself up near what 700 right there, $700-800 on those alone, $800 plus. And then I got some other ones too. Takes work. We work. That's all I'm saying. Not just talk. So yeah, go to Google. Get used to doing that, right? We know how to make things, come to life. GE as the commercial, right? The GE make things come to life. That's what we do. So that's the easy way to query stuff. Stocks that will benefit from the infrastructure bill, right? 13 best infrastructure stocks, American building plan. Here's another one that says 14 best. That's the Kipler, right? Kipler actually is a well-known publication, right? So yeah, there are no slouches over there, right? This one here just came out, literally updated today. I'm pretty sure it got updated yesterday, but yeah, Yeah, don't sell my information. Why does thing be popping up saying that? Yeah, of course I don't want you to sell my information. 13 best stocks, for America building back spin. Some of these we already discussed, right? Some of them we already discussed, right? So, yesterday, Vulcan, right? You guys see that, right? And, then I'm getting ready to get off here. Let me blow that up. But I'm going to show you this here. So, we dug this stuff we did actually pull this stuff up on our own yesterday. We did it the raw side though. I just Googled this, so I let y'all know I ain't just, this ain't me copying and doubling back. I just Googled that. But we went over these yesterday. We put them up from the raw style, like how to go find these kind of stock. We've put them up and we went through some. So Vulcan, definitely number one. They do rock, sand, gravel, stone. They the companies that make all that stuff for the construction, for the concrete, asphalt. They're the material company. They are definitely, a big name that's going to benefit from all this because they got the raw materials, right? On that side. So Vulcan, look at that, Vulcan, right? Martin Marietta materials, another one. Right? That one that's in that $4 share. Some of these jokers expensive though, but we talked about Nucor. There's Nucor. There it is. We talked about theirs yesterday. See how the internet works? See how the internet make you out to be make you out to be the truth. We found all these stocks yesterday on our own. And then here it is. I come today and Google that, and then they already in the package deal. Bruh. Let me post that on the back side of YouTube. Right? Let me post that in YouTube. Post that for the family, right? That's what we do. We find it and we post it. We send that stuff down range, right? We send that stuff down range. So we can have it, we can always backtrack it later. See how that work? Make sure the family get that work too. So just in case they want to act on it and do some research, they got it. Look at that. Caterpillar. We talked about, obviously, Caterpillar, obviously. Duh. Machines. Duh. Caterpillar. Deere. Duh. Even though they're going through a union strikeout, a union protest right now. They're in hot water right now, but they're going to figure it out at some point. And shout out to the people that's protesting against the company management. Some people saying that the employees being greedy. They want more than what John Deere, they've probably been cheated for years. John Deere just been pocketing all that revenue and their profit as a publicly traded company. So yeah, go get that bag. These people greedy. Go get it. United Rental. We talked about that. Couldn't make this stuff up. See, that's stuff that they rent. I was talking about it yesterday. I was trying to name some of the machines, but y'all get it. Y'all got what I was saying. Look at that. Right there. United Rentals has been tearing it up this year. Meaning to the upside. We just talked about Charge Point. Remember I said they were best in breed when it comes to charging stations? Oh. You were just talking, brother AfurakanEmporium. You were just talking. You didn't know that. How'd you know that? You didn't know that. Thank you, Open Snot Ball. Thank you, family. Peace, power, profit, man. I was just saying that earlier, man. Y'all get me in trouble. Jug and Corey like, man, that jug over there trying. Y'all get me in trouble, man. Don't do it. But we were talking about that. They go Charge Point. Bruh. I had to say, bruh. I said they're best in breed for a reason. See, that's why. And Charge Point, just recently had earnings that went down to it went up a little bit and then pulled back to 18, 19. And then a lot of other Wall Street people got behind it. And guess what? Now it started to bounce again. So they're going to benefit off this bill. Y'all know what it is. We're going to use it. We're going to use it. Right? We're going to use it. And we're going to get right behind them bulls. We're going to get right behind that bull. Right? That bull, that stock, whatever it is. And we're going to ride. We sure live. We're going to go right on out there and ride. Right? So we understand what the bag's at. We know how to go find these little plays like this. And we've been talking about this for a minute. And I spoke about Charge Point many times. So nothing new there. Charge Point. Let's go. Right? A couple more here. Let's get through this list. Right? Oshkosh. Not Oshkosh, Bigosh. Like Joker, like, man, you talking about Oshkosh, Bigosh to sell the kid clothes? No, there's a different Oshkosh. Joker didn't even know this. He did it. Got him. Joker didn't even know this other company named Oshkosh out there. Got him. We're not talking about baby clothes. Not no, not this. Not the Oshkosh Bigosh. This is Oshkosh, the manufacturer, right? The manufacturer, right? You see what they deal in, right? Right. So Workhorse was also enthralled with them inside of a lawsuit. Of course, Workhorse was mad because they didn't get that the USPS contract, right? It's still on the table, possibly, but we'll see, right? We'll see, right? Look at that. Look at that. I mean, see, we look. All right, moving on. Freeport Macaron, Macaron. Now, this company here definitely gets a lot of conversation, talking points on CNBC, right? People know about Freeport, right? They're definitely known for a lot of the things that they got in terms of construction, stuff like that, right? They do a lot of mining, stuff like that. Right? Copper is one of their major staples that they pull out of the earth, right? Copper miner, basically, right? And there's other copper miners out there too that do really well. And look, copper is going to be very universal in building back America to whatever extent, bridges, wherever it's going to be needed. It's going to be very useful. Vehicles, whatever, copper. Freeport Macaron, right? Brookfield Infrastructure Corporation. See that work? Got him. Right? Got him. They do a lot of different things. Transportation, energy, and even data infrastructure. Transportation, energy, and even data and utilities, right? They do utilities as well, right? So again, it's a lot of different ones out there that could benefit. Crown Castle International, right? Now we getting into the ideal of what? Communication, broadband, right? We talked about broadband finna get a big bag off this infrastructure bill. They're gonna get like what 65 billion broadband internet, stuff like that. People didn't even know this company here, Crown Castle International, CCI. People didn't even know this company. Like, who is them? What they do? Yeah, universal broadband coverage value. This company here, they slated to get a good chunk of that money. Broadband gonna collect how much? They getting 65 billion. 65 billion. See how that work? Connect the dots. Let's go. All right. Eaton, right? We talked about Eaton yesterday because it's a part of that PAVE ETF. Eaton is part of the PAVE ETF on infrastructure. Obviously, individual stocks inside that ETF going to be beneficial, right? Look at there. Eaton. Right? Solar farms, all that, national grid, stuff like that. Electrical components, right? Already. Global U.S. Infrastructure Development ETF, right? They even got ETFs mixed in there too. PAVE, obviously. We know that because we spoke about it yesterday. Clear as day. PAVE, PAVE, in there. Got him, right? And there you go. That's just some of them, but those are some of the top ones, right? Some of the top ones. There's others too. There's others, right? Vail, Clean Energy. We spoke about some of them yesterday, right? They're there, right? So this came out just yesterday, right? So people already own it. They preparing. These people ain't crazy. You think they don't wake up and do the same stuff that I'm doing right now? And these people be dealing with millions and billions of dollars. See, stop, man. I be telling people. They just can't connect that. They can't seem to fathom that in their head that it's that universal, meaning that the information is that open source universal. They can't fathom that. So they feel like everybody else on Wall Street got something else that we ain't got. Yeah, maybe a little extra capital. Okay, yeah. Yeah, obviously, right? But the information is all over the place. It's universally sourced for the most part. Yeah, you can call the company up too if you want. Call them up. Hey, what do y'all plan to do with that infrastructure bill money? Get HR on the phone. Call them. Call the company. Hey, what y'all gonna do with some of the infrastructure money? Well, some of the stuff we can't talk about, but I can't tell you we have this project lined up. Really? That's not insider information. That's just you calling the public relations, investor relations, and figuring out what's going on with the company. See how that work? Man, look, all right. So brother Sunlight said he got paid in his stash, right? That's what I'm talking about. Oprah Brandon definitely got, got some stock options and paid too. So he ready. He ready come Monday. I hope that thing rocket. I hope it do. Elon might have grenaded everybody though. We don't know yet. But Elon got some pressure on the future market. They're gonna try to fight through it to turn it green. There is, right? They're gonna try to prove that Elon don't control the market. We'll see. That's gonna be a battle all night. I'm gonna be popcorn out all night watching the future market just go all over the place. Elon then grenaded the whole system. Elon gonna sell some stock, and people over there still, sharing his tweets, and because they're gonna be talking about it all day, right? They're gonna be talking about it all night, because literally, the tech sector is gonna be under fire all night tonight, right? So yeah, it's get you some popcorn, tune in and catch a little bit of it too, right? Because it's going to be that kind of party. So, like I said, not hard. Go through there. That list of stocks down there, we have it in the description box. Let me repeat. The money that's allocated for this infrastructure bill, 1.2 trillion. The majority of that stuff is implemented down there inside my description box on YouTube, on the YouTube video that we're doing here live. Go down in the bottom of that, meaning this for the people that may not can find it on their own quite yet. Go down in my description box. You'll see the list of the money and some of the projects that they have allocated for some of that money in the infrastructure bill. All you have to do, right click it, copy it, left click it, and then go to Google search if you're on your desktop. If you're on your cell phone, you know how you do that. Just, highlight it and, go to search or hit, whoever you got for your web browser. Put stocks in front of there, like stocks to watch or stocks for or stocks dealing with this, whatever. That's how you go find some of these companies like we just did. It's right. You'll see it right down in my description box where it says, here's a closer look at what's in the infrastructure bill that now heads to Biden desk. Transportation, roads, bridges, and all that. You see it. And some of the money that's going to go to some of those sectors. So that's our infrastructure bill part 2 conversation that we're going to finish up on yesterday. And we didn't even hit all the other stuff. Again, it's just that I got something to do real quick. Right. All right. So we'll do another show. We'll do another one. We'll do a part 3. We'll do, something in relation to what did the market do the following day. Right. And then some of the other stocks that we didn't go over that we knew that we also going to watch. But some of the ones that definitely, we talked about the Plug, FCell, ChargePoint, Blink, EVgo, Clean, it's the other one, CL something. I keep messing up. I want to see CLI, but it's not. It's CIIL or something like that. But we know about Lucid. We know about, all the other ones like that for GE. I mean, on and on. New, Eaton, all those, right? Pave. It's so many more too. But it ain't hard to go put in what are EV stocks, what are the EV, even some of the manufacturers, right? Or the product, right? We know about what's the company called? Albemarle. I think I said it right. Albemarle. That company, maybe 2-3 years ago? They provide a lot of the lithium, right? The lithium. SQM, right? Another company out of South America. They provide a lot of lithium for Tesla and all the other companies. Those 2 companies right there alone, major players too in the space because they deal with raw materials, right? I think it's ALB. Yep. Albemarle, right? Marl. Right. I was right. No, my mind ain't failing me. Got this. Right. Really quick. I know I keep saying really quick because I gotta go. I really gotta go. Right. But I want to show y'all this one here too. Right. Because I was talking about this one here like 2-3 years ago. But really heavy about 2 years. So, but same way, this one here was just kind of traversing down because on the COVID low, we know what happened with that. But then it bounced back. It came back, got all its gains back around about June 2020. And then that whole idea that Tesla that really began to get a lot of press release because they were starting to show that they can manufacture, produce. The idea that's going to do for us the long vehicle range vehicles that it was trying to do for us the batteries, right? This whole issue that they kind of fell out with Panasonic, and them kind of parted ways to a degree. And so companies that were still the suppliers of the lithium that they needed were still getting a lot of press, right? This company was one of them, ALB, right? I was talking, telling people about ALB when it was like about 40 some odd, it's like 60 some odd dollars a share at that time, $60 to $70 a share at that time, right? It was about $60 to $70 a share at that time. And since then, the stock then went on to hit basically near 300 a share. I got posts when I was talking about ALB around $60 to $70 a share. I'm not making that up. People like to say, well, yeah, you just saying that now. No, I can show you those posts. I could guarantee I could show them to you, because this was one of those raw materials of lithium. They dig up lithium, right? All right. Now the stock's sitting up here at 300 dang near a share. You think they're gonna benefit off some of that EV stuff too? Yeah. Yeah. If nothing else, continuation value could make this stuff up. The other one, here's another one for you. I'm throwing them out there. SQM, right? Sociedade Química, right? Y Materials, right? Right? They're a Brazilian company, I think. Brazilian, Argentina, one of them. But same way, COVID lows, down here, right? COVID lows down here brought the stock down to like $15 a share. I start making reference of it around about $30+ a share. I played it in the earnings one time. It was around like about 27, right? And they actually beat. I was like, okay, this is great, right? And then the stock just gapped up, ran a little bit, right? It was like 20, 20. It was like 27, something like that. And the stock ran, gapped up and ran a little bit, got up around like $30, above the 200 moving average, obviously. And then it began to kind of start getting some attention, right? It started getting some attention that there was going to be a major player. Right? No, 27 was 27. I was right. So it was right after that last earnings play. So it was around about September of last year, right? And then from there, the stock just up to the upside. Now we're sitting at 64, right? This one was a low beta one too, but it's benefiting because it's a producer of that same stuff. We're talking about iron ore, bauxite, aluminum. They got all that in their portfolio deposit that they do as far as mining. They're a mining company, right? SQM. And I think China bought up a major portion of their stocks, of their portfolio, right? China's buying this company here up. They're trying to become the major controller, the major shareholder of this company, because they have a lot of those same materials I was just sitting there talking about, SQM. And it's trying to play catch up to ALB. So this one here is second tier. It's a second tier company to ALB. But they're actually, I think their deposits in SQM is bigger than that of ALB, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, their underground deposits is bigger than that of what ALB is. So they're still yet to kind of really, be exploited. True story. Go look it up, right? Let you know I'm not making this up. Go look it up. Look it up. ALB, right? So, there it is, right? So just something to think about, guys. So a lot of stuff, I'll be all night, but I'm not going to be all night. I got stuff to do, right? And I got to get ready for the market. And I got some other stuff I got out there playing, moving a little bit down the crypto space. So let me go prepare for that. And we'll do another third part to this, just to do aftermath and kind of add more to what we discussed the last 2 days, as a way to kind of back test our information, right? We want to back test our information. Again, of course, like I said, we have no control of the markets, what they will or will not do. We're just only speaking to the money. We're speaking to the money that's going to now be allocated to some of these opportunities out there, meaning these stocks, these financial vehicles. And we'll see if they do what they're going to do. One way or the other, they are very favorable to kind of continuously their growth story. That is no brainer, right? That part is the no brainer. All right. So that's it, guys. So, a lot, again, to digest over the last couple of days that we've discussed some of this stuff. Tesla, yeah. Elon Musk, yeah. Grenade, yeah. He did that, right? He has definitely did that, right? So we'll see what the market does after this. But as of now, it's still early. It's just only 6:43. Futures market is kind of showing a little weakness. But like I said, they're gonna try to way to slow all that selling down, and they're gonna try to buy this dip. They still want to act as if they want to be certain that the infrastructure bill is going to be bigger than what Elon is trying to do for selling stock. And they're going to try to turn this market before the night over with. One way or the other, it's going to be a fight tonight, because the tech sector definitely going to be red for the most part, much as possible because of Elon scenario. So the Dow may try to run. The SP 500 going to be in trouble because there's a lot of weight value in SPY that sits, in Tesla, their holdings. And the Dow, like, look, we ain't got nothing to do with that. Right? Dow stock's going to be like, no, we got Caterpillar and Deere, and they running on infrastructure, right? We ain't got nothing to do with Elon doing over on the tech side. So we're going to be green. So it's going to be that fight between the Dow and the NASDAQ tonight. SP500 gonna be caught up in the middle, like like their strange girlfriend or wife jump off. Right, they're gonna be caught in the middle trying to say, "Cool down, stop, y'all, stop fighting." It's fact. It's gonna be that kind of party tonight. So this is gonna be interesting. We'll see what it goes. What happens, who wins, who gives first in this tug of war. But as of now, yeah, the drama for tonight is just gonna be watching Twitter and Telegram and Discord rooms and stock Twitch people sitting there fight about what they think Elon gonna do with the stocks that he gonna sell, that he say he's gonna sell. He definitely put that poll out there, and the poll came back that sell the stock 10%, which is around about 25 billion, somewhere around $25 billion worth of stock. And yeah, that ain't looking good already in the German markets. They sold off already about 7-8%. The FTX Tesla / USD is down, right? So yeah, we got an interesting night ahead of us, guys. Very interesting night, so we'll see what the crypto market is going to do too, because again, that says a lot too, for us, the Bitcoin futures, how Wall Street is going to look at that too, right? Because they try to connect Elon to Bitcoin. Of course they do. Dogecoin, all that stuff. Of course they do, right? Right? It ain't no rocket science, but I'm just loving my LRC, because LRC is still showing to be that boss. Right? LRC is still kicking butt, taking names. Right? LRC. Loop ring, right? We've been talking about that for quite a while. Matter of fact, it's jumping tonight. That's why I'm sitting there watching, because I'm watching that one too. I added some more to it on this dip recently. We got down to around about 125, 126. I added more down to it, and now we're up to about $1.47. So I just keep adding on this one. And right now it's running. It's up to 147, $1.47 basically. Right. So I already picked up additional around about 20 cents in profit per token since I added to that on that dip early this morning. So yeah, I'm loving that. Right. I'm loving that. Of course I am. Right. Of course I am. Right. So yeah. So let me get out of here, guys. Like I said, I'll be here all night. I mean, I love hanging out with you guys. Y'all know how this stuff go. But I got some other stuff to take care of too. So, if not, I'd be here. We'd just be having a good old time. Ain't nothing wrong with that either. Because like I said, when this channel is live, we working, right? When we live, we working, right? So yeah, on the way out the door here. Again, y'all know I've been talking about LRC since it was down in the teens, meaning it was at 15 cents, 17 cents, 18 cents. And now we up to $1.50, dang near 150. 150. Right. So yeah, I was down, buying this little dip up right here, we're dipping a little bit. This AM I bought down in that 120 area plus, saying this little, U-shaped bottom that started to make, come to fruition here. But this on the daily chart, you see what this thing came from, but this on the daily chart. It's going back basically, on October 28th, literally 3 days after my birthday, Earth Day. This little token was at 38 cents a token, 40 cents a token. Right? Again, like I said, I've been hitting it ever since it was down here in the teens, right here. So I got my old notes up here, just to let you know I ain't just talking. Right? I've been hitting it way down here in the teens, right? 15 cents, 16 cents. I was hitting it down there, adding. They just kept adding, I just kept adding to it. I took a little bit, sold a little bit, left some in there, right? Left some in there, right? And then when it kept pulling back, I add more. Got 20 cents, 21 cents, and I was adding down here. Right. And then it got about 20 moving average there finally on the daily. I said, okay, now we cooking with gas. We cooking now. So, I was kind of, slightly adding in around that 30, 40 cents area. And then we broke out finally. All this stuff on the back of that metaverse news with Facebook, the contracts, the smart contract aspect, the loop ring that does with that NFTs. This is what loop ring does. Loop ring is definitely a good project, right? Use case too. And it's on the Ethereum protocol. I love it. So yeah, we're breaking out a little bit. Now we're at the $1.50. So I'm loving that. Right. So my buy was definitely not in vain. To add more on the dip around about 120 something this morning. It was kind of pulling back a little bit, add a little bit to it, and here we go. So I'm gonna go play in this a little bit this evening here and handle some other business because I got to take care of for some sessions tomorrow. I got to do with training. All right. So yeah. So hope this stuff was informative, family. Hope you guys got something out of it. I appreciate you guys. Your wisdom, your time, your patronage. Again, the super chat, humble. I was cutting up a little when I was saying that, but I was just showing people that we work. But y'all know I'm very appreciative, right? I'm very appreciative, And anytime we can build together, I'm all for it. You're welcome here anytime. Again, like I said, anytime. Right. And so tomorrow we'll try to get a chance to go live again so we can do again a back test of what we saw in some of these stocks and if the market going to honor it or not, or if not, we're still going to be ready for them because these stocks going to benefit from the money one with the other. The check is already cut, is my point. Regardless of what the market going to do tomorrow, it doesn't matter. Right. The check is already cut in terms of the infrastructure bill. So we're going to be planning for some of them stocks to be right there with them when they start growing and get some of those contracts and some of that money. Right. All right, guys. So that's it. So I'm going to get out of here, guys. Peace, power, and profit, everybody. Hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Again, as I like to say, trade safe, choose well, and stay green, my friends. Right? Put your best foot forward and handle your brain, and let's go get this money, man. Right? Shout out to everybody. Peace, everybody. Peace, family.